begun. And Taimu lurking in. Dallas Fuel looking pretty unstoppable. In the meanwhile,
Undead will punish him.
that is how you do
Now
it.
they've got a Pharah player finally in Seagull. He's getting pretty hyped up.
Now some space has been created for the Shanghai Dragons.
And what a strong start for the Fuel.
Undead popping up where they didn't expect him.
Oh,
Wow.
Seagull gets two though.
Oh, Mickey, this is big.
On the clock for Dallas Fuel.
That was intense.
Hello, everybody. We are back. Malik is in the building, and we have an awesome crowd here in the Blizzard Arena. Welcome back to the desk, everybody. I am your host, Chris Puckett, and I am joined by some of the greats here in the business. We got a fantastic day of the regular season of the Overwatch League, and yes, it is the final week of Stage 1. To break down all of today's action, we've got Crumbs, we've got Reinforce, our analyst, and at the far end, we've got our insider, Zoe. Once again, Zoe, it's the final week before the Stage 1 playoff.
It is, and as Malik said at the beginning, there's still 7 teams who can make it, and that's super hype. Like, it couldn't have gone better for us in the Stage 1.
Absolutely. Johnny, walk me through some of the standings here for everyone that's been watching the first 4 weeks of action. We know at the top it's all about London, New York, and Seoul, but right behind them is a big pack at 5 and 3 trying to edge their way into the playoff.
Yes, we have 4 teams in the mid-table who are in contention for the playoff spot. Philadelphia Fusion a bit behind, not really able to make it, but we have Boston Uprising and Houston Outlaws right behind the top 3 teams with all chances to actually bring it home on Saturday.
All eyes are on Seoul, and tonight they play against the Valiant. Everybody is going to be cheering on the Valiant as they hope to see one of the big 3 fall. But our middle match, it's it's San Francisco going up against the Gladiators, and we open things up with the Dallas Fuel taking on the Dragons. Are you guys ready to get this started? Let's bring them out to the main stage. Give it up for our first team of the day. It's the Shanghai Dragons. Dragons making their charge to the main stage, led by Freefield to support, and they're at an 0-8 record coming into today, and they're coming off 2 rough 0-4 sweeps last week.
Yeah, but they had to face off against 2 really strong teams, NYXL and Spitfire. But today, with Dallas not having found their footing as of yet, and Shanghai looking better each week, this is going to be a more reasonable challenge for those guys.
Yeah, a bit different circumstances. Last week they were outplayed when it came to the ultimate management, of course, versus the top teams. But this time they're facing Dallas Fuel, and maybe with Dallas Fuel looking a bit disoriented in this meta, maybe they can rely a bit more on their individual skill on Dia and Undead.
Yeah, they have the skill already in the DPS department, but I'm looking out for the tanks and the flexes here. Roshan and MG, they've been playing a little bit better, but they need to step it up a bit more because on the Dallas side, their tanks have still been trying to find their footing. So if they can jump the gun, establish themselves as the dominant tanks in this matchup, it's going to be a legitimately close one.
Is Shishu going to make his way back into the lineup today? Keep your eyes on the Divas for the Dragons. That is a look at Shanghai, but now it's time to bring out their opponent. Let's hear it for the Dallas Fuel. A preseason favorite, champions in their own right, but the Dallas Fuel are off to a terribly slow start to the regular season. They come into today's match at 1-7, off of an 0-2 week 4.
Yes, but I don't think the map score actually reflects their individual performance coming off last week. I think they look a lot better. They brought it close versus Philadelphia, and they actually challenged New York Excelsior, especially on Anubis. So looking at this roster, I think they improved so much from when they played the Orisa composition. So I would argue that Dallas Fuel is back.
The only thing that seems is back is their backs against the wall here because the Dallas Fuel is just too inconsistent still. They're playing up and down to the level of their opponents. So you have one time you can go toe-to-toe with the New York Excel. Other times you're getting 0-4 by the Philadelphia Fusion. So this team is still struggling, and they are quite vulnerable today against the Dragons.
They're vulnerable, but they are supported by their fans. You hear the crowd cheering for the boys like Seagull, and as well as Taimu and Mickey. But today we see a bit of a missing player in this lineup. Where is Effect in this starting lineup? We'll get to that in a little bit. So let's start, though, with the discussion around Taimu, because he was very frustrated coming off the loss to New York.
Yeah, he is. And he's definitely putting in a lot of work as of late. He has a special practice regimen at the moment just for himself, where he is basically putting in 2.5 hours or something on Widowmaker as well as McCree, practicing against bots and different difficulties. And it is showing every now and then, but the inconsistency has been a little bit of a problem for them. But again, you can say one thing about the Dallas Fuel, say that they are putting in the work.
Taimu, wrecking supports and warm-up. We'll see if he can get the job done on the Shanghai Dragons today. Johnny, let's talk a little bit about the maps. Who do the levels favor today?
Well, it's actually pretty close and very interesting that Shanghai Dragons and Dallas Fuel, they share their favorite game mode. We see that Dallas Fuel and the Shanghai Dragons, their best game modes are Control and Escort. That's where they grab most of their map wins. So it's a bit funny to me that both of them, there's so many maps up in the air in this series. We look at a map like Oasis, of course, where Shanghai Dragons really impressed us versus the very top teams in the league, and they actually managed to win versus the Philadelphia Fusion. So with so many maps up in the air in this series, and with them sharing the best game mode, all of the maps can be relatively close, really.
Close maps, and I know we're all hoping for Oasis a little bit later on in the series. Let's talk about the individual players. We are all set up to compare Undead and his great McCree play as of late, going up against Effect, who's also shown us the McCree. Well, Effect's not in the lineup today, so what effect is that going to have on the Dallas
Yeah,
Fuel?
I thought we were going to have a McCree versus Tracer showdown and see some sick dodges of flashbangs, but in reality, the Dallas Fuel is not starting Effect. They're one pillar of their entire week so far. This guy has been consistent in every single game, and it feels like this player is the one that pushes the Dallas Fuel to play harder, to try harder, to get time to play that kind of routine. But without him here in the lineup, I have a feeling that this team is going to be incredibly fragile to whatever the Dragons throw at them.
Johnny, do they need a Tracer?
I don't think you need a Tracer, especially coming up with these maps. We have Eichenwald as the first map, and we know that Seagull plays a pretty good Pharah. So we might see some Pharah gameplay coming out with Taimu on the McCree. I think starting off with Eichenwald, we don't really need a Tracer, perhaps. So perhaps it's a strategic decision coming out of Kai from Dallas Fuel.
All right, with that said, we know Effect is not in the lineup for map number 1. Let's get the official prediction starting with Zoe at the end here. Zoe, real quick.
You know, I kind of want the Shanghai Dragons to take their first win, but I also want to see the Dallas Fuel ending on a high note. I think I'm going to give it to the Dallas Fuel, hoping Taimu and Seagull are going to step it up.
Dallas Fuel, Johnny?
I'm actually going with the Dallas Fuel as well. I think there's an upset potential here, but you'd be a mistake to not guess that Dallas Fuel.
Close it out, Crumb.
I
Players
see
are ready.
no effect. I see no cause to give it to the Dallas Fuel. It's Shanghai Dragons for me.
Seagull's all smiles. Mickey, we'll see if Dallas can get a big win. Is Crumbs right? Let's send it backstage. We got Monty with Doa.
Hey guys, that's right. We are ready to get things started with our very first match here in our final week of Stage 1. We're already at the end of Stage 1. It's been really fast, but this is I'm excited about this one because even though these two teams are eliminated, they're still fun teams to watch. And if we look at Eichenwald, the very first map, neither of these teams have taken a win on this map yet. So already history will be made for one of these teams.
Unfortunate history, you have to say. But
so.
You know, we can talk about the stage playoffs, but realistically, Doa, what really matters is the end of season playoffs. And both of these teams have a chance. We are not even 25% of the way through Overwatch League's inaugural season right now, so there is plenty of time, plenty of players that can be signed to bring these teams back right into the mix. And what is going to be interesting here is, as the desk mentioned, there is no effect. Clearly the star player of the Dallas Fuel starting here on Eichenwald. I don't think on this map in particular it's going to hurt too badly because, of course, we can see Taimu run the McCree, run the Widowmaker, and Seagull can bring the Soldier or the
Pharah,
the Junkrat or the Pharah, which are preferred. So you don't necessarily need a Tracer on Eichenwald to be successful, even though we do see a lot of teams run Tracer Pharah, particularly on point A.
Yep, that is correct. So, time to get things started. It's going to be the Dallas Fuel on the defense, Shanghai Dragons on the offense. As they say, the Dragons are about to be unleashed.
I mean, everybody's been hoping after a very tough week last week. They did have to play both London and New York. They did suffer the first complete shutout of the Overwatch League, meaning that they lost all 4 maps and did not get a single point across any of them. Dallas also played New York and did better. In fact, Dallas Fuel, as we see, they haven't played their effect. They played them on every map so far, which makes sense. But Dallas Fuel actually dealt New York their first control loss ever last week and Pine's first map loss. So we're going to be playing Oasis again. So I think that should be a strong point for them.
Well, that's been the funny thing about Dallas is we've seen these flashes of extreme brilliance where this team can look so good, but overall they just haven't been able to get things together. We'll see how the defense is, if it's solid or not, as we get things started on Eichenwald. Shanghai Dragons, of course, on the attack. Actually, Undead swapping over that McCree. I was about to be confused, but now I'm not. Roshan, though, on the Roadhog, something we haven't seen as much of here.
Yeah, they're running D.Va Roadhog without any kind of barrier tank, so this is,
Oh, man, nearly grabbed him, but the corner came into play there. Meanwhile, Freefield does go down. Coco finds the first victim of the map.
You have to fish very aggressively with the D.Va and the Roadhog. Basically, you're saying, okay, they're going to be poking us, but we've got some healing, so we're going to charge support ults and look for a hook.
Yeah.
The problem is that we rarely see it here for this reason. If you don't have the Orisa, you're going to get sort of bodied.
Well, then again, Mickey brought in, actually, but he goes down. Undead taken out by Seagull. Roshan somehow, some way is still alive. He had to retreat, though. So Shanghai, we'll see how much progress they can make on the point. All depends on Dia, I think. Undead's had some big plays lately, but Dia, the one with the barrage right now, and he's going to come down and use it. That is two right off the bat, coming from an angle that Dallas did not expect, and they may have this point.
Well, Chips is going to come in against the later Valkyrie.
Yep.
Shanghai had used the initial damage to get their Valkyrie faster, but now tanks are going to start getting revived here. Undead still trying to do some work on the point.
Well, it was an opportunity for Dallas to come back with the Valkyrie, and they're still in it. If Seagull can have a big rip tire, that could make the difference. He's going to get MG as MG tries to self-destruct, but that's going to be it. That said, it looks like Shanghai is getting pushed back for now. Close one.
Altering and Undead, the only ones on the point at the end, and now 5 members of Dallas Fuel have managed to get back towards the defense. It will be a 5 versus 6. Harry Hook making his way across the map to rejoin his teammates.
They're trying to get there as fast as he can. Shanghai not wanting to give him the time. They're coming in. Freefield, as you can see, has that Transcendence. There's a DMAC on the Mickey, actually, and Freefield just going to use that Zenyatta ult to keep everybody up. They're getting the kills they need. If they can break through the shield, they will. Coco a little bit low, taken down. The tank's eliminated on the Dallas side, and Undead are ready to eliminate everybody else. Doesn't look like Chips is going to get that res, and that'll be the payload floating forward.
That's right. Respawn time's really helping out the Shanghai Dragons there. Able to take the fight before good positioning could be had on the point itself. So Dallas was constantly trying to push back through the choke points, and that was punished pretty heavily by Shanghai. Will be Seagull on the Soldier now, Taimu on the Widowmaker. So already long-range hit scan going to be the name of the game. Dia probably wants to switch this up.
I was going to say, yeah, I mean, if you're up against that, you're not going to live very long as far oftentimes. He does nearly have the barrage, though, so maybe you stick with it. MG kind of on his own. Ooh, and Undead finds a flanking angle and nearly has both supports dead to rights. Can't quite finish off Chips yet. I don't know if Fan the Hammer's going to work from
Chips
that.
died.
But he still died anyway. Dia found him with that barrage, so putting that bar to good use. Flashbang doesn't connect, but that payload's going to move.
Chips Hyan dying during the Valkyrie. Pretty critical miss there for Dallas because they're not going to be able to stop that payload at all. Shanghai keeps it moving. Great McCree flank on the high ground.
Absolutely. As we see kind of how that fight shook down, that barrage coming in from Dia at the end. It's been a couple good barrages from Dia so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Some really consequential barrages to push through point A and almost through point B right now as the payload about to hit the bridge.
Yeah, Undead waiting to see if maybe
Harry Hook
an
used
opportunity for the
Transcendence. But he's not going to push through with his teammates. That was a really preemptive Transcendence from Harry Hook.
Well, we've seen this from him before. You know, I mean, mechanically, he's had some good moments on Zenyatta, but the ult timings have not been stellar on that hero for him. That's another opportunity to kind of see that. Looks like it's going to be Tac Visor up on the top. Seagull. Oh, gets through that flashbang. What an angle from Undead. That was beautiful, man.
And now the High Noon going to be coming in from the side just to zone him out.
Yeah.
Not going to complete, though, as Mickey will take him down.
Now, Freefield and Undead falling here. Looks like Dallas trying to strike back. They've got Winston very low. Roshan diving back in, though, after a little bit of healing from the Mercy. And they're trying to keep Dallas from really reinforcing any of that with people inside the castle. Here comes Dia with another barrage. And
shot out of the air.
Rocket to the face from Seagull, and that's going to be enough to kind of keep the Pharah out of commission. Roshan going to go ahead and use that Primal Rage. Dia, res, uses a barrage. They're grinding this one out, and it looks like they'll get point B. Ooh, did they get it?
Coco has to get back to the card. He didn't get back in time. His leap didn't bring him back close enough.
And that was close, but Shanghai managed to finish it. They're going into point C now, and Dia still with this Pharah.
Chips also didn't get a lot of value out of his Valkyrie. Shanghai, despite all their troubles at support, are certainly having better support ults here after Harry Hook. Struggled to use that Transcendence. He's going to have another one and another chance right now. Heroes are being swapped up. Mickey going to be on the Roadhog.
Well, MGU, Roshan coming in just in time to protect his Diva. That could have been bad. Don't want to get D-Mech now.
Shanghai some time to work with. MG.
I said you don't want to get D-Mech now. Uh-oh. MG D-Mech'd anyway. And he is not going to last too long. Transcendence comes in from Dallas. Ooh, another maybe kind of questionable Transcendence from Harry Hook. What do you think about that one?
Well, they're still trying to push, and Altering here is using the Valkyrie.
Oh, they're making progress.
And they are making progress, so they may have to push that one up a little bit. Taimu low, Taimu dead.
Yeah, another barrage from Dia comes in and kind of paves the way for Dallas to push forward here. Now it's just a couple respawns. Harry Hook taken down by Undead, and that'll be it. Shanghai Dragons will finish their attack run with a pretty solid amount of time in the time bank.
Yeah, absolutely, Doa. Looking significantly better in terms of their teamwork today.
That was smooth.
We've looked at a lot of the criticism of the Dragons has come from their support role, but their supports were there with the tank line. We didn't see Roshan dying so much or MG dying so much in those front lines, and the Valkyries were significantly better from the Shanghai Dragons, actually able to make more of the resurrects. Meanwhile, Dallas Fuel losing their Valk halfway through sometimes.
Sure.
Be really problematic. And now Dallas Fuel will be going on the attack. 2 minutes and 9 seconds left in time bank.
It's a good attack run.
Yeah, it's pretty good, especially for Eichenwald.
Yeah, and Shanghai just looks so much tighter on that run. People weren't, see, usually what you see is Shanghai moves along and somebody will get way separated from the rest of the team, whether it's Roshan or something like that, or the support's getting picked off for not staying with it, but that was tight. Everybody was where they needed to be, and Dia had a great performance on the Pharah.
And you can't let Dia and Undead go unpressured, because they've been the bright spot here for Shanghai, and we saw what happens. Dia did 17,000 damage per 10 minutes. During that. That is an enormous amount of damage.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the danger now that Undead is sort of awakened too, is that he can be this dangerous flanker, and that frees up Dia to do quite a bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. And we compare that to the highest damage member on the side of the Dallas Fuel. It was about 9,500 damage per 10 minutes from Taimu, so pretty big advantage there. Of course, we do expect Pharahs to do a lot of damage, but not that much, and you can see right there a lot of rocket accuracy too from Dia, who had a standout performance, and having a good Pharah on Eichenwald is very helpful.
Absolutely.
Seagull gonna try his hand at it.
Yeah, Dia still on the Pharah on the defense this time. MG on that Roadhog now as Roshan swaps over to the Orisa. Seagull coming out. Has made a name for himself on the Pharah in the past, but the Overwatch League performances so far haven't quite been where you want them to be. Dia already with a kill onto Taimu. Rez comes in from Chips, but Dallas approaching slowly.
Those damage boosted rockets can catch you by surprise. They're going to be pushing forward.
Whoa,
Dallas, when they've been successful with methodical, slow pushes. That's what we're going to see again here. Mickey hooked in. Mickey will be demeched.
Yeah, looks like he will be, right? Seagull, meanwhile, trying to find some of those shots onto Dia. Got one to make him back off a little bit. Undead rezzed again. That's another shot from Seagull. Heals come in, though. Dia not in any danger of going down instantly, and Dallas slowly but surely being pushed back by Shanghai.
Yeah, and they have to move back right now. Their Resurrected already been used on Taimu. Yep. Undead brought back up. It was a 5 versus 6, and for now, the Shanghai Dragons holding pretty strong.
Yeah, so far, so good, but we've only just begun the attack for Dallas. That was just their first push. A shield from Coco as the ult comes in. Coco drops immediately, Chips there to bring him back up again. He's going to pop the Valkyrie. They need to get some progress going here. You can't let this Mercy ult go to waste.
And then they thought they had a timing window there, Doa, where they would have the Valkyrie up first, but unfortunately for them, Shanghai Dragons are going to get their Valkyrie up right afterwards.
All right, well, Harry helps get a kill, pops that Transcendence. They're going to charge in now, but there's that whole hog, though, from MG pushing everybody back, and Undead finds a kill on the Chips with the Deadeye. So Dallas, they are going to go back to the drawing board one more time, and it's getting a little bit tense now. 2 minutes remaining for Dallas.
Undead had a great flank around the side to find the Deadeye kill onto Chips High-End. So again, punishing the Mercy from the Dallas Fuel. They've been effective at taking Chips High-End out of commission, and there's another opportunity. Undead is going to swap to the Soldier 76 now. Probably just get back a little bit faster after he used his ultimate.
Yep, not a bad choice. I mean, you've got that Pharah that you can punish with a little bit. Seagull with the long-range barrage here, but Dia right behind him. You never see the barrage just right behind you. Dia just takes out the Pharmacy in midair. Wow.
Dia just snuck around the side of the tower and punished Seagull for that barrage. Seagull not going to have that ability up for quite some time. Dallas Fuel, they'll be lucky at this point to get both of their support ultimates up and have one final push.
It's hard to sneak with rocket boosters. It's usually not two things you put together. I stealthily rocketed my way around the tower. Yeah, you don't hear that very often.
Well, Undead and Dia have been swapping flanks on the DPS, and it's actually been working really well to take out the fuel supports. So can't argue with the strategies that they're using so far.
Yeah, well, it's hard. If you don't know where the pressure's coming from, it's hard to defend against. Find a fuel from Undead. That does give them a little bit more staying power on the point as we get down to the final minute for Dallas's attack round.
Dia's down.
Yeah, Seagull found that kill. Dia back up again, of course, and now it's Coco who falls and is rezzed again. Dallas coming in, both Mercies without their single reses, and that's going to be a pause. And we'll have to see what exactly is going to be the issue there.
Wow, that was not the best time for a pause, to be sure. Undead and MG have flanked around the backside of that engagement.
Yeah.
Both Valkyries are out right now for Altering and for Chips High-End, and it's going to probably be the last really significant push for the Dallas Fuel.
Yeah, it could get intense. Well, it should be intense because, yeah, we're down to 47 seconds on the clock. So if this attack doesn't work for Dallas, you're going to be coming into the next one with not a lot of tools to work with in the ultimate category, and not a lot of time to work with either. So far, so good for Shanghai.
Yeah, that's right. And they're still waiting right now for Harry Hook to use that Transcendence. So when we get back into the game, be sure to check that out first, because that's going to be the next big ultimate that comes up that may decide how this engagement goes. But, you know, regardless, what I like about what we're seeing from Shanghai, I like the early swap back to Soldier, because Soldier is more useful, generally speaking, during point B of the map. So even if you give it up, you're already going to be well on your way to a tactical visor. You're not going to have to make any changes there, and it'll make it easier to set up onto the high ground as well.
So what you're saying is that it's a good switch to make late in the defensive point A, basically.
Because Undead died early, at least the Soldier with the sprint's going to be able to get him back to that point faster as well. So it serves double duty, and I think that's especially intelligent when you're the Shanghai Dragons and you know you don't have to full hold here.
Yeah.
You don't have to. So why not just switch? You're still getting that long-range hit scan to help deal with the far up, but at the same time, you're setting yourself up towards increased success further on in the map.
Well, with especially considering what a grind point C is on Eichenwald, if you end up holding most of the point A and then giving it up at the last fight or something like that,
it doesn't matter.
You just need like a marginally good hold on point B, and then when you get to C, you give them like not much time, and you're okay. So yeah, I think Shanghai Dragons, really no matter what happens here in this next fight, is in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, absolutely. Because point B takes so long to get through, and there's a lot of delays there too. You have to wait for the portcullis to go up where the cart can't be moving. There's an extremely long path around the U-bend, and trying to fight on that bridge is difficult because you can get punished with a lot of environmental eliminations. Coming out of the spawn doors just to get it even that last meter is hard, especially if the defending team has any support ultimates up whatsoever.
Yep, that's right. Well, guys, we got a chance to check out a day in the life of the Shanghai Dragons. Now you can check it out too. Let's see it.
比赛日的时候，我们会就是在早上会晚起一些，多休，大家都有充足的睡眠。
这个篮筐即将被你征服，你在干嘛？我操！太低。
吴伟达，龙队的希望靠你了，来！
这是3分球啊！哇！厉害厉害厉害厉害！这干嘛？到哪？哦！
我觉得就除了要用现金和要说英语以外，其实跟中国就没有什么区别。
讲道理，当所有人都有动作的时候，我们不做动作，不是也挺特殊的吗？
你只是在为你的懒惰找借口，你不要想多。
还是不能走鬼。
为什么？
因为
抓到我拍子，
我又没动。
这是和谐的龙队，
刘海掀起来。
掀一下你的刘海，我们想看一下。
吃完饭后我会到训练室热一下手。
有时候，如果比赛时间较晚的话，我们会先来一场训练赛，让大家保持手感，然后就进行比赛。
我
就是龙之队虽然就是时间很长，但觉得过得很充实。每天就是因为你要为比就是和这么多强队这样亮，而且就每天就过得非常有意义，很充实。
Well, maybe the basketball skills haven't been looking the greatest for the Dragons lately, but today in Eichenwald anyway, these guys are looking pretty solid.
Yeah, and it is encouraging too, because before last week, we at least saw them come close to beating Philadelphia, actually taking it all the way to 5 maps, and there has been demonstrable improvement from the Shanghai Dragons over the course, and we're going to come right back in, Noah.
All right, let's get this play-by-play going. MG going down already before I even get a chance to talk. Altering bringing him back up again, of course, and Undead, Tac Visor ready to go. He's going to corner Mickey in the building. Mickey going to get halted. Oh, but Seagull right there with the double kill barrage, and Altering goes down via Coco, so that should almost certainly be a point they take. But it's like we were talking about, Monty, in the break, that even though Shanghai did give up the point here at the end, they've eaten a lot of time off the time bank.
Yeah, credit to Dallas Fuel, though. Harry Hook this time holds on to his Transcendence, so they've got their work cut out for them.
Yeah.
All right, take a look at Seagull right here.
Oh, that was sick.
Yep, just getting a short hop over, and nice 3 kills picked up with that barrage. Undead is going to hold on to the tactical visor, though, for this next point. 2 minutes and about 20 seconds for them to move all the way around this U-bend. High ground already taken by the Shanghai Dragons. They made a lot of swaps. D.Va, and of course that Winston.
And Seagull over onto the Genji now. Interesting. Taimu finding out in the building before he gets pushed back a little bit. So they're going to get the D-Mech onto MG. Good start for Dallas here on point B.
So be careful of Undead on this high ground right now. He's going to eliminate Coco.
Yeah. Uh-oh, Taimu between a rock and an angry 8th place. Seagull dashing in, gets a couple, gets
They're
3.
lining up for
Whoa, all right. Well, Seagull is the bowling ball, and Shanghai are the pins right now. And Undead just running. You got to stay in shape at that age, so.
That was actually some good patience by Seagull, who in his admittedly very limited Genji playtime we've seen from him this season has been lackluster, but that one waits till the Transcendence is over, knows everybody's going to be lined up to get some dash resets inside the castle, and now they've got a great position here to punish Shanghai as they leave their spawn.
Pretty much, MG separating from the rest of this team. Maybe Dallas can take advantage of that. They're chasing him, jumps down onto Harry Hook, but he's on his own on this payload here. Gets D-Mech, gets taken down. And Shanghai, MG kind of just gave himself up there. And now Coco coming in with the Primal Rage, gets flashbanged, gets back to the cart to protect his team. And he's losing a lot of health here. The heals need to come in. It looks like they will just at the last minute.
Chip Zion not with another successful Valkyrie, though. And really the payload all stalled out. Altering going to come in with a Valk of his own.
Yeah, that's right. Reflect for Undead. Seagull trying to avoid that flashbang, and he's going to take a swim in the cool, crisp mountain waters.
I'd prefer to take it without dropping that far first, personally.
Well,
but
I mean, it's especially not good if most of your body is made of metal too. That's it's very rusty.
He could be waterproof.
He could, but it's still going to make the metal really cold against whatever you have left, and that doesn't sound comfortable. Poor Genji. Well, Dallas with another chance here, but they've only got one. 15 seconds on the clock here as they try to get back to the payload, and even that may be a bit tricky here.
And they are going to have a Dragon Blade, but they have to play around free feel using the Transcendence to go try and push it out early. Mickey going to start with a big kill.
Oh, good zoning by Roshan to push Seagull back down into the ramparts again. Shanghai going to come in right away with that Transcendence. Harry Hook pops his a little bit later. The payload moving a little bit until MG and Dia get back there. Roshan does fall, but Seagull dies in the process. They needed that Dragon Blade, and he's still got it available. I think Dallas may be in a little bit of trouble here. The self-destruct comes in. Taimu with a couple headshots kills. So maybe at the last second, Taimu can be the hero for this team. But they're going to have to keep fighting.
They're pushing it into overtime. However, there are only 2 members of the Dragons available. Are they going to commit to pushing this payload, or to stopping it, rather, right at these gates?
I think you let it go. I think you be happy that you've burned this much time off on the clock. That's what they're going to do. So Shanghai taking a chance to set the defense up. Only 1:20 on the clock for Dallas as we get things started on point C here.
We're not going to see any big hero swaps coming here. No Reinhardts, no Darius yet.
Dragon Blade time. There goes Altering a kill for Seagull. Gets both supports. And the Gull of the Sea swoops in for some crucial kills, and that payload is going to move. They have bought themselves a chance if they can handle these respawns.
That's great, Doe, and they also did it with only one ultimate. So they've got a Valkyrie going to be useful here right at the end. No support ults to stall out for the Shanghai Dragons. Only got that Primal Rage, and they're going to have to wait very far back. Still, Dallas are running this without a lot of time left in the bank.
Oh, there's the Primal Rage. It's going to get flashbang, though. Roshan getting low. Can they finish him off? Taimu can. Here's a Deadeye. Uh-oh, gotta get out of the way. That's Self-Destruct coming in. Chips gets caught by it, though. That could be crucial. Transcendence. Now Seagull needs to take down Altering. They need to get that Mercy out of the equation. Mickey's gonna help him out with that. So, Shanghai, everybody force off the point. Roshan is back. They gotta deal with these tanks one more time. Undead goes down. He had swapped over to the Reaper, and here comes the Transcendence from Feefeel again, holding on the payload for as long as he can, and only Mercy left to stop them. Oh no, Dia comes in with the Tracer at the last second, and now Undead with the McCree. If he can get some good shots in, this could be big.
I mean, the respawns are coming through. Chip Zion is dashed back with the Moira.
Dallas just trying to stay alive, trying to keep themselves in this map, and it looks like they have done it. Dallas barely completes their attack run in overtime, so a mountain to climb to win Eichenwald, but they've given themselves a shot.
Really looked almost desperate there at the end, considering the Chips got caught by the self-destruct in his Valkyrie, so another Valkyrie death.
Yep.
And now the best that the Fuel can hope for is going to be a draw. 2 minutes will be what the Shanghai Dragons have to push their attack and try and take Eichenwald home.
Yep, that's right. The ball is certainly in Shanghai Dragons' court right now, and after that video, I think we can all be thankful it's not a basketball. But you know, they're much more proficient with the Overwatch.
It's all right. They're not paid to be good at basketball, though.
I guess. That did look fun. Although I can't say that's probably what would happen if I tried to play basketball.
It would definitely happen to me. I can't even remember the last time I played basketball. Maybe I was like 8.
I played a lot in grade school and junior high. Go Berlin Bears. I was a forward because I was taller than most of the other kids. I just stood there and waited for them to pass me the ball. That was it. They did actually pass me the ball sometimes. No, I wasn't as lonely.
That was
as
my next
sounded.
question.
That sounded very lonely for a second, but no, I was.
So I was just standing there in the middle of the court while everybody else runs around him.
That's not where a forward's supposed to be. You really don't know basketball.
I have no idea.
Wow. All right. Well, back to Overwatch. Shanghai Dragons on the attack again.
Or maybe I'm implying you didn't know where to be.
Well, you'd be wrong, so that's okay. Shanghai Dragons only needing this first tick to take home Eichenwald. And that's a hook onto Roshan right off the bat. Can they finish him? He's going to take a breather, try to stay away. Oh, but Seagull down, back up again, but there goes Mickey. And Shanghai already breathing the flames of fury all over Dallas Fuel. Not the kind of burning they prefer to do, and Shanghai will take Eichenwald.
Well, what a great start for the Shanghai Dragons. Both of these teams had never gotten an Eichenwald win. That streak will be broken here.
Yep.
Shanghai heading up into this series, and we'll have to see how the Dallas Fuel adapt.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've certainly got chances to come back. I've enjoyed seeing what they've been able to do on control maps from time to time. Some unique composition to show it's there. But as we look ahead towards map 2, which is Assault, Shanghai can be pretty happy about a fairly convincing win.
I think Dia and Undead played quite well.
Yeah. As usual. Well, don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back with Overwatch League map 2 right after this.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Intel, the official computer processor of the Overwatch League. T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
There goes Raucus. Seagull finding him, and he DMX Cool Math as well.
My name is Seagull. I play Flex for Dallas Fuel. Man, I've played video games like all day long. Like this is what I did. So in terms of like where I was, it didn't really matter that much. It was just all about the games I was playing.
Seagull with the kill, and in the end, Dallas Fuel will come out on top.
In my genre, I love these types of games, so when Overwatch came out, it's just natural progression to move into the best game. Probably the Houston Outlaws. There's always a big history between our two organizations, and it's just fun.
But at the end, the old boys in blue holding strong.
Different nationalities, though, I really think they kind of make the team stronger in a lot of ways. Everyone has so many different perspectives they can all bring to the table. It really just makes everyone stronger. I mean, a team's goal is always to win it all. As though, to us, it's very odd to think of anything other than first place.
And we are back, guys. Seagull with some crafty moves on Eichenwald, but it wasn't quite enough to carry Dallas Fuel through to victory. But we're going to Horizon Lunar Colony, so what can we look forward to there?
Well, we can look forward to Shanghai Dragons continuing to run the Moira Sombra Tracer strategy that we've seen from them multiple times in the past. They have been running that even recently. So this is a map that they have won before. It was their first map win, in fact, versus the San Francisco Shock quite a while ago. And they did full hold. So this is actually one of the best maps for the Dragons overall, which I think should be a bit worrisome for the Dallas Fuel. It is a map, though, that we can see a lot of Junkrat on, so I assume that's what we're going to be seeing Seagull play.
Yeah, and I mean, recently Seagull really has looked the best on the Junkrat out of the heroes that he's been bringing out. So, I mean, in that position, he's gotten a lot of matches to watch. I mean, Jake kind of giving everybody a Junkrat schooling, I suppose, in terms of holding point B. Junkrat schooling, I don't know if that's quite the term I was looking for, but, you know.
Taking them to the Junkrat Academy.
The junkyard is kind of where the school would be, I guess. But I don't know, just Shredder and
you'll work on that one
there,
for later.
I guess. But yeah, we'll work on that one. We'll get back to it. I'll write out. Don't use the junk joke. Okay, worry about that later. So, Horizon Lunar Colony, a chance for Dallas Fuel to bring it back. But really, in the end, I mean, we're at the end of Stage 2. Let's be realistic here. Both these teams are eliminated right now. Of course, things still matter for the overall season results, the year-long results. But at the same time, you do have some opportunity for some experimentation here today.
Yeah, this is where both teams need to put it together, though, Doa. Yeah. So I am concerned we're not having any substitutions for the Dallas Fuel. You look at this week for them. Now, there is no question that Dallas has had a tough schedule so far. But coming into this week where they play some other teams that are at the bottom of the standings, this is really a chance for them to get back in. Same can be said of the Shanghai Dragons, though. And I have to say, it was pretty convincing in that first win, especially that last push. Looked very easy for the Dragons overall.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, they just got that early hook that had to be res, and then immediately after the res, they got another tank. And then what do, right? So the Dallas Fuel just got rolled over. So at this point, I mean, yeah, you do have to be a little bit worried. But I think if you're a Shanghai Dragons fan, you have to be excited because I think they've really got a good shot to get at least one win here in Stage 1.
Yeah, and especially after last week where they had the ridiculously hard schedule versus New York and London, and they got totally blanks, 0 points taken against London.
Many teams would expect to go 0-2 in that situation. But.
Sure. Yeah. But you were so excited after they nearly beat Philadelphia, and then you come into the next week and they get absolutely wrecked. So I think it was hard to be excited about them this week, but this is giving us a little bit of pause for some new life in the Dragon.
Yeah, that's right. Well, speaking of the life they've shown lately, Dia's been a big part of it. Let's check out some of the moves he has shown us, and here was a fun one. Oh man, I love this one. Again, stealthily, sneakily rocketing his way around the tower. What does that tower do exactly, by the way, in the middle?
It is a clock tower, I believe.
Is there a clock on it?
I think so.
I don't know if I noticed a clock. Maybe I'm just not very observant. Maybe Dia saw it when he was up there. I'll have to ask him.
Yeah, I love Dia too, because not only that, but he was zoning out the McCree as well towards the end of that play. So really pushing Taimu further back and out of that fight. And he played very well on that Pharah over the course of Eichenwald, which I think is a good sign considering that we do have an Oasis map coming up as well, which is something where a map where Pharah can be extremely useful. And I like how Dia, actually the direct accuracy and the weapon accuracy there, 34%.
Solid, yeah.
To put that in context, The Pharah accuracy, average accuracy across the entire league is 18%. So that's nearly double the average on Pharah in that map on Eichenwald. So standout performance from him for sure.
Yeah, looks like we're just waiting for something to get sorted out. Over on the Dallas side, it looks like. Computer things. And computers are fairly important for playing Overwatch, or at least some sort of way to play the game. You can't play with your mind, not yet, Monte Cristo. We'll get there. We'll get there. You'll get there soon?
I actually, I do play in my mind, Doa.
Really?
Yep. I run scrims, simulations of how the teams would do against each other. It's fantastic.
Oh, so you're not actually playing. I'm talking about you playing the game with your mind.
Not yet. Not yet.
Would you prefer to play it psychically, as in like you've still got like a keyboard and mouse in front of you, but you're pressing the buttons and stuff?
No,
with your mind?
no.
I would use your impulse.
That's right. I would have the entire experience. I mean, my fantasy is basically just to be a brain in a jar anyway, where I don't have to eat or worry about the physical world. So
I can see that.
Yeah.
Can a brain in a jar wear vintage ties though? That's the question you have to ask.
We'll have to spruce up my jar.
This could be important for you. You're looking very casual today too. No suspenders.
Yeah.
The top button unbuttoned.
I know.
This isn't casual Friday.
I mean, you're wearing a Canadian tuxedo. He's wearing a denim shirt with jeans right now.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I happen to like this shirt. If you like this shirt, give me a cheer. Yeah, denim. Yeah, that's right.
It's not the shirt that's the problem, guys. It's the shirt with the pants.
No. Doesn't matter. You can't see my pants. I could be wearing anything. That's right. I'm wearing jeans for the record. Yeah, well,
jean shorts, actually.
That's right. They're jean shorts, and I'm wearing long, almost knee-high socks with some flip-flops. So, you know, typical caster
It's
attire.
a Canadian summer tuxedo.
That's right. Monty's in a kilt, actually.
That's right.
Not just any kilt, though. It's a kilt that has a design that's sort of similar to like a leopard.
It's actually the tartan of my Scottish ancestors, the Robertson clan. So.
I don't think there were any leopards in Scotland back in the day.
Well, we had to go hunt them in other countries.
But a long way. Wow.
That's why it was so valuable. It's actually more valuable than gold.
the leopard print kilts.
The leopard skin kilt in Scotland.
Wow, that is beautiful. But you know, we're not just here to talk about ancestry. You know, this is the first fill we've really had to do in Overwatch League. We've had some long ones over the years in various games and other esports titles, but this is our first long one for all. We're glad you're here with us.
I did one of those spit tests recently.
Spit test? Oh, the DNA thing?
For the DNA stuff.
What did you find out?
To the surprise of not me, I am almost entirely Western and Northern European.
All right. I was more curious about what planet.
Oh yeah, I get that a lot actually.
All right. Well, let's while we figure that one out, let's check out some comms for Dallas and see how they manage to keep the communication going in some of their matches.
You're playing slow. Don't force anything. Then we win.
We need a very good coordination on the shield, okay? Yeah. Get deal. Nice. Nice.
I think in Overwatch, the communication is, I think it's number one thing.
팀 게임에서 의사소통은 항상 최고로 중요하죠.
Everyone is pretty much the best players in the world, so what sets you apart is teamwork.
I'm stuck. I need a resident here. I'm trying. Let's use the D and break their shield, okay? Ready? 3, 2, okay, we're going. All right, good job. Nice. Good job. Hey, that's a good comeback, boys.
So since we have many people from different countries, speak different languages, in game it's pretty hard.
Are they set up? In fact, are they set up? Okay.
So when we're on stage, it's usually Taimu calling the shots.
Okay, they're gonna go in. Watch out.
We realized it wasn't that optimal to have a DPS player calling all the time. Lately, we've begun to get more into a free flow system.
All right, let's set up again. I have 75 seconds. Hit it up.
Heal. We have to know what is the position of enemies and our position. So sometimes me and Epic have a tough time, you know.
의사소통이 문제가 있긴 해요. 그런데 저도 영어를 최대한 배우려고 노력을 하고 있고 솔직히 많이 답답한 것도 있는데.
Please kill Kurman, please.
The Dallas Fuel lost too many players.
Our team is very passionate about the game. If someone starts to get a little frustrated, then Mickey will kind of just be Mickey, I guess.
Say so, and then we go together. And we die together. We are the team. Victory!
중간중간 사이에 뭐 긍정적인 말도 해주고 웃기기도 해주고 해서 긴장 같은 건 되게 많이 풀어주는 편이에요.
You know who's Carrie? Who's your daddy? Call me daddy!
We need to become more optimal, more efficient. So far, people might say that's not working, but it's really not really taken full effect yet.
Slow down.
Do you guys notice how better we played the second half of that map versus the first? Because we instantly started talking.
I talked to my team that, can you like make it simple and say it to me in effect? So after that, I think it's getting better.
I think that was the first point we didn't get in overtime.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job.
We're learning them.
We're learning.
You hear the communication from the Dallas Fuel there, much cleaner than we've heard.
Got it.
Hey, well, by any stretch, the communication on the Dallas Fuel side much better than what we have in our own games with the casters on the ladder.
Well, I think you do see...
I think we do okay.
Yeah, we do okay. I think you do see some of the issues there that they've said have been cropping up in terms of dealing with so many languages being spoken, especially not only in-game, but prepping outside of the game too, trying to get all those ideas across clearly when it comes to strategy. I think is done, but probably takes a little bit more time.
Yep, that's right. Well, guys, while we get some stuff figured out, we're going to send you over to a little bit of a break. But don't worry, when we come back, more Overwatch League action right here, right now. So, well, not right now, in a little bit anyway. My point is, don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League. Intel, the official computer processor of the Overwatch League. And by T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network.
Hey guys, we are back. Dallas Fuel versus the Shanghai Dragons. Right now, Shanghai up a game over the Dallas. They got that win on Eichenwald, and now we are just kind of biding our time until the second map, Horizon Lunar Colony, to see if Dallas can bring it back.
Yeah, I really am excited to see this map as soon as we fix some of the technical issues that we're having right now with one of the Dallas Fuel PCs. It should be very interesting to see how Shanghai Dragons are going to come back out. I like the way they run these strategies, but we're looking at both of these teams, and neither has found much success so far in the first Overwatch League season.
They have one match win between the two of them.
Yeah, it's pretty grim. Yeah. But interestingly, I feel like they've been losing in different ways, and they've been struggling in different ways. In terms of the Shanghai Dragons, we're seeing that they have a level of flexibility, but not very good execution with any of their comps, whereas Dallas Fuel, oftentimes we see good execution with some of their more strange or niche compositions.
Right.
The problem is they don't have the flexibility to flex into other compositions, so once we see them, they look strong against good teams like the Seoul Dynasty or the New York Excelsior. When they come out, but they fail to adapt, and they are adapted against instead. They keep running the same thing over and over again. They sort of get figured out.
Well, one of the most kind of encouraging things to me about Shanghai, at least, is that in that first map on Eichenwald, we're seeing the supports not die as often, and we're seeing them be able to keep the tanks up. Because, like you mentioned, execution was a big problem for them. A big part of that execution was the positioning for the supports, how they would be able to take care of the tanks as they dived in, how they'd be able to kind of take care of themselves as well. Especially if you look at Altering, somebody who struggled a lot on the Mercy for quite a while. But today, so far, everybody's in the right place. People aren't dying. They're keeping the tanks alive. And yeah, finally, that support play kind of coming up a little bit for Shanghai.
Yeah, and I like how Dia has, over the weeks, moved into more of a projectile role as well, because he has made some pretty big swap-ups to his hero pool coming into the Overwatch League, because he and Undead were really known for both running a lot of hit scan, and Dia, somebody had to take that mantle and try and play the Junkrat, try and play the Pharah. We just saw an outstanding Pharah performance, so that compositional diversity is working out very well for the Shanghai Dragons, at least here today.
Yep, that's right. And while neither of these teams in this match in particular are making it to the playoffs, we're still getting hyped about it, and so are some of the other players in the league. Let's check out to see what they got to say.
Let's make some noise, ladies and gentlemen. Big it up, Blizzard Arena. Blown out of the sky. Jake! Huge tire from him. Now there it is. That's the big play.
Stage 1 playoffs for us. We'd love to win it. We'd love to get first place.
처음부터 시작이 좋아야 끝이 좋기 때문에
생각을 하기 때문에 정말 중요하다고 생각해요.
센 팀이 모여서 하는 거니까 그만큼 기대가 되고 빨리 하고 싶은 그런 마음.
돈이 많이 걸려.
Clean sweep. London has been out of this world.
저는 개인적으로 좀 휴스턴을 만나기가 싫고요. 너무 저희 입장에서 좀 까다로운 팀인 것 같아요.
저도 약간 휴스턴이 약간 좀 무섭긴 하네요. 저희는 좀 공격적인데 우리가 더 잘해. 우리가 더 잘하긴 하는데 좀 힘들 것 같아요.
Nexal for sure. I think
they're actually the best team. They have the best teamwork. They have the best coordination with their tanks. They have the best backline.
Yeah, the most flexibility too.
Most flexibility. They have the best tracer player in the game.
Sabi will be coming alive, man.
SPV is a god.
In the playoffs, when we play multiple matches in one day, it's very important that everyone stays at the same energy level, because you don't want everyone to be too high or too low and like waste all the energy like mid first matches.
1등 해야지. 피곤한데 한 경기만 해야지.
이제 하루에 2경기 하는 거는 겪어본 적은 없지만 그래도 좀 정신력으로 버텨야 될 것 같아요.
It just doesn't seem like Seoul's touchable here.
We're used to like scrimming 6 hours every day, so I mean stamina's not really a problem for us.
We're a team full of grinders. When other teams crumble, we're going to stay strong, we're going to stay together, and we're going to stay tight.
Oh, it's just a dominant victory here from the Houston Outlaws.
방심하지 않고 항상 하던 대로 분석하고 해서 플레이오프 꼭 갈 수 있도록 하겠습니다. 그냥 지금 흐름대로 그냥 가면 그래도 무난하게 이기지 않을까 생각은 하고 있어요.
이번 스테이지 1등은 저희가 하겠습니다.
Ooh, playoffs. I'm excited. Well, I mean, we've got a couple extra matches on Saturday to decide who is our Stage 1 champion. Right now, New York, London, Seoul, way ahead of everybody else. But you know what? I'm actually the most hyped about Monte Cristo right now, right in this particular moment.
That we're going to start the
game. We're almost ready to go. We're going into the game. That's right. Finally. Thank you for being patient, guys. It's hard on us, too, believe me. Eichenwald.
Well, I can talk about my ancestors.
It's not as hard on us
leopard
as
skin
on you.
kills all day.
That's right, yeah. We got it easy. Lunar Colony will be our next map, guys. Shanghai did take Eichenwald, so a chance for them to jump out to a 2-0 lead in this series. Dallas Fuel doesn't want to let that happen, though. They would prefer to win a map, shockingly. I know this may come as a surprise, but teams want to win.
I mean, I could argue that by not playing Effect, maybe Dallas Fuel doesn't really want to win. I can make that argument.
I suppose.
I can make that argument.
If you're kind of a mean person, I guess you could. Yeah, all right. Well, here we go. We're getting things started. Shanghai Dragons will be on the attack first. One more time, they are the away team in this match, and Dallas Fuel on the defense. So, see if they can handle it. Seagull already on that Junkrat. And like we mentioned a bit earlier, this really is the hero that he's been excellent at. I mean, he's been known for his Pharah, and he's been known for his Genji in the past, but right here, right now, Junkrat has been the way to go for him.
And he's been excellent at Junkrat on this map.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you're not going to play Effect, Eichenwald is not the worst map to do it on. If you're not going to play Effect, Horizon is not the worst map to do it on, because you don't necessarily 100% need that Tracer. Taimu especially can fill in on the McCree and on the Widowmaker. We've seen very good play out of him in the past.
Yeah. Wow, Undead dying nearly once a minute on this map. That is impressive, but not in a good way.
We are going to see a pretty standard pick composition. We see this constantly from the side of the defense on Horizon A. Go with the Junkrat, Widowmaker, Orisa, Roadhog combination. Try and play that high ground. Shanghai, they're used to playing against this, and they are going to go, not for the Moira this time, but they are going to have the Tracer and the Sombra. So they're going to put some pressure on the backside of the point, try and force Dallas Fuel off the high ground, and then dive in between them from the opposite flank. Dia's already over by the mini health back on the far side of the point.
That's the plan, and Dallas dropping. So Shanghai waiting. They want to make sure those health packs are ready to go here. Ooh, a shot comes across the middle. Taimu looks for it, can't quite find it onto Altering. Needs to hit those on that Widowmaker. Trying to go after Undead now on the Sombra.
Yeah, but Undead realizes that now that they're on the point, he doesn't want to hack the mini. He goes underneath and hacks the Mega instead.
Yep. Oh, Harry Hook finds a kill onto Dia. And so that's a good start. 6v5 for Dallas here as they try to defend, and it looks like MG may be about to be demeched. Oh, he barely stays in. Undead, though, dies to Harry Hook as well. So Harry Hook finding the kills in this fight and getting a little bit of bloodthirsty Zenyatta action going.
Undead needed to reset anyway. He actually threw his translocator over to try and hack the mini just before he died. Gets caught out by Harry Hook, and we saw 3 members, including the tanks, still putting pressure on that point.
Man, Harry Hook is like, this is my point. He does dive, gets brought back up by Chips, of course, who's nearing that Valkyrie. Seagull backing away, going after Roshan here. On that Winston.
Altering kills Taimu, actually, during the Valkyrie.
Yeah, that's right. So that's one anyway. But Chips, he's nearly got his own Valkyrie here. They're going to dodge around while the self-destruct comes out. Now Mickey walking back in, but doesn't have enough health to survive. MG helping out with the kill onto Seagull. And so a grinding fight. But in the end, Shanghai will take point A. And Chips not quite able to build up to that Valkyrie.
And that's the problem, is that Dallas Fuel didn't kill the tanks that were left over while the rest of the Dragons were respawning. It was just Altering in the tank line. Dallas Fuel was putting damage into them, which gave the Dragons a much faster Valkyrie. Dallas Fuel, you have to be able to finish off that front line, otherwise you give the enemy team a big advantage, and Shanghai just takes advantage of it immediately.
Yeah, they're going to try to keep the momentum going here onto point B as well. Roshan diving in, Altering down early, Coco striking back. There goes Roshan. So, oh, Free Feel uses that Transcendence after both the Mercy and one of his tanks are gone. I don't know about that one. They may have to back away here. They did get the kill on the Mickey, but they're going to need more. And yeah, that's a Zenyatta ultimate that I think Shanghai would have liked to save.
Absolutely, Dylan. Good discipline from the Fuel as well. They consistently had large advantages when it came to people able to get onto the point. They don't use any of their support ultimates. As a result, Seagull gets a nice pickoff with a Riptire, and Dallas is going to be holding here for the time being. Undead is not swapping off this Widowmaker. Coco knows exactly where he is.
Yep, he'll be able to put a lot of pressure onto that Widowmaker on the high ground. Undead down again. Taimu takes advantage of Coco forcing him out of position. Undead gets resurrected, but needs to get those picks. Seagull a little bit low. Dia going in for the kill. Pass it back off as he gets low himself. Meanwhile, the Diva battle comes in, and Mickey winning it until he gets stuck by Dia's Pulse Bomb. That is going to be a kill for him. Chips is going to bring him right back up again, but now Altering coming in with his own Mercy ultimate. Refuel, another Transcendence, diving in very quickly to try to keep his team up again. Mickey going to get DMAC'd one more time, and Shanghai again, another grinding fight, another point, but they're starting to kind of come out ahead here.
Seagull has swapped up. He's going to be coming back on the main now, just to try and get the stall, but they should have enough here.
Now they need to delay. There's a DMAC, and I think Mickey, caught by the self-destruct from MG. Taimu finds another win in the Widow duel in the meantime, but it's all about the action on the point right now. And Seagull trying to stay alive as long as he can. Harry Hook helping out. That Transcendence will actually let Seagull stay alive to get his Ice Block back, probably, which will let them keep delaying. We'll see Dio
Two
with
kills
on that Pulse Bomb on the side of that fight. Meanwhile, Shanghai still with just only the first tick nearly taken. Another Ice Block from Seagull. Mickey getting DMAC'd again. The delay is crazy from Dallas, but now finally some control percent building here for Shanghai.
Coco gonna jump in, will take out Undead. Critical kill right there. Gotta give them some more time as they slowly make their way back out. Both supports are up, and I think this is gonna be the end of the push.
Yeah, that should be it. So the thing is you really have to give a lot of credit to Dallas in that fight, I think, for delaying as long as they can, especially Harry and Seagull. Not letting Shanghai really get all that much, considering how hard they won that earlier fight.
Yeah, one tick and some progress up towards 60%. But I think Shanghai actually had a good opportunity to peel back and save their Valkyrie after forcing both supports ults. I'm a little bit surprised they doubled down again, nearly taking it. It's not quite enough.
Taimu on the run, gets back to spawn anyway. Roshan forcing him in there. Seagull with the Ice Block on the point again. Gonna try to slow down MG here. We'll see if he can. Seagull drops that Blizzard. That's gonna delay even more. Nice right click onto MG actually with the Ice Pick. Harry Hook comes in with the Transcendence. I don't know if they really needed it right there, right now. Coco gets brought back up again, and now Taimu, again, just trying to find those shots through the Transcendence. You can do it. It's not easy, though, and the brawl continues. It's going for quite a while here, but Dallas, for the moment, seems to have the advantage. Yeah, they'll continue to hold.
Harry Hook with the last kill onto Dia, so not any more progress made for the Shanghai Dragons.
Whoa, Altering.
Gonna die at the end there thanks to a powered up shot from Harry Hook. And they're gonna stick on the Mei. And the Mei, we've seen teams, particularly the London Spitfire, like on defense on this second point, because it does control the choke so well. You do have to fight in the open a lot of the time, which gives Blizzard a lot of opportunity to do some work.
Oh, and free field picked off by Taimu as they approach the point. That's the kind of headshots you need if you're Dallas Fuel and you want to defend this one.
Taimu also in the back corner right now.
Yep.
There's no longer an enemy Widowmaker to try and win these duels against him.
All right, here comes Undead. He's got the tac visor going. Taimu needs to back off a little bit more, gets those healing. They can just wait this one out a little bit. Shanghai nearly has that second tick, though. Dallas needs to get onto the point soon, and that's going to be tough after losing 2 people already. MG gets DMAC'd, but that's not going to help Dallas a whole lot. They just don't have the people to put on the point, and Shanghai nearly has it taken. There goes Mickey, and that may be it. Now they try to touch, but Coco can't get there in time, and Shanghai will complete their attack run. They've got 1:09 in the time bank.
And that Widowmaker towards the end was not very useful. They were blocking a lot of line of sight via the Winston bubble, and Altering had some great positioning behind a pillar at the end to prevent the snipes from coming through. So not a lot of options for Taimu when it comes to hitting those shots, and he just whittled down the members who are capable of being on the point itself. The Dragon's going to end up with both points and time in the time bank. This is a point that the Dragons have successfully full held before, so you have to take them quite seriously on point A.
Certainly, especially, and I think we can say this is probably the best we've seen the Shanghai Dragons look so far.
Yeah, absolutely.
Overall, I'm saying.
Yeah. I think they look significantly more decisive today. They're playing better, as you mentioned earlier, around their tanks and supports. Their DPS are still packing quite the punch.
I thought the ult usage from Shanghai was a little bit shaky on point B from the support side. A little bit of layering going on, but
I think they could have actually, they made a decision that nearly won them the game. They were barely stalled out by Dallas Fuel, and I think that the smarter decision, I think I can only say this in retrospect, was to save the Valkyrie after getting both of Dallas Fuel's support ultimates out. Their first ult's on point B.
Right.
But it was so close that very difficult to make that call in the heat of the moment.
Well, with over a minute left in the time bank, hard to criticize either way. So Shanghai on the defense looks like they're going for a little bit of pick potential, although no Roadhog along with this. And they're going to go with the Ana for free feel. Okay.
Interesting that Dallas is going to use the Widowmaker and the Genji together. The Ana will be effective here. Great at countering the dive by throwing the Biotic Grenade at your feet on the high ground.
Yeah, very true.
If they try and make a push.
Feels like Dallas really wants to shut down Undead on this Widowmaker with both the Genji and their own counter Widow. Let's see if they can. Then finding those early shots.
Whoa! Beautiful.
Yeah,
that was a great flick from Undead.
No kidding.
Had the damage boost to help him out, but
if he'd been born in the core systems, the Jedi Council would have identified him a lot sooner. Wow. Oh, meanwhile, Taimu comes back, makes him feel his own force.
Yeah, the revenge there, not as effective because, of course, of the ability to resurrect. Taimu still trying to peek around that corner and better of Undead.
Yeah.
Undead should not have been walking in front of the Orisa barrier in the first place.
That's true enough. Now force off the high ground as Coco dives in. That's a kill on him, though. The headshot sets it up. And they're right back on the high ground one more time. Dallas having some real trouble approaching this one.
Now Seagull's on the high ground now as well. They are going to force everyone down from the Shanghai Dragons, but the picks just keep on coming in.
No kidding. Undead certainly winning this Widow duel so far. Coco loses a lot of health as he jumps in. Again, they really need to do something to take out the Widowmaker here, but Undead so far, Seagull not quite able to pressure him enough.
I mean, Undead is playing this a little bit too aggressively, Doa. He nearly died there again. He's trying to play with his grappling hook to get the shots on the Taimu, but you don't have to be that way. You can just hold back and snipe from behind the shield. Oh,
sleep dart from free feel onto Coco there. Mickey sent a self-destruct in, but didn't get any kills. In fact, he got killed by MG. Seagull down, brought back up again, though. Taimu finally gets that kill onto Undead. We'll see if it ends up lasting. Dallas trying their best to make this push work. They are committing to this one. Coco, though, down again, and now that Nano Boost comes out onto MG for the cleanup. They may not have even needed to use that Nano Boost there, as they kind of already had Dallas on the run.
Yeah, they did, and that is a mistake there made by Shanghai, committing the Nano Boost. Dallas Fuel melts away back towards their point. Only 5 members of the Dragons are at point A right now. Undead on the Widowmaker, slowly making his way back across the map. Dallas is going to have an opportunity to get a man advantage. Taimu is using the Infrasight to help zone Undead out. Undead can't get to the point right now.
Yep. Wild Dia looking pretty comfortable in the back of the point there. Oh, so many people coming through a narrow doorway. That is Junkrat's dream right there. But Dallas coming out with some of the kills. This Riptire is going to need to make a difference. And Dia sends it forth, trying to find Elsie. Gets Mickey. And it looks like that's going to be enough. Oh, here comes the self-destruct. Any kills from that one? No, not quite. But it does push Dallas back again. They have 1 minute left on their attack run. So already things a bit tense on the Fuel side.
And there's no healers on the point right now from the Dragons. So Dallas Fuel going to jump right in. Seagull dashes for the Roshan kill.
Yep, that's right. Dia down as well, so Dallas needs to take it right here, right now. Altering comes back with the res onto Roshan. They've got the tank, but do they have the defense? Undead takes out Coco. Seagull luckily has that health pack right there. Not going to get him all the way up, but it is something. Now he has that Orb of Harmony coming in from behind. Roshan taking a bit of damage, but it's really the Mercy. That is the one he's looking for.
Diaz coming back in on the Tracer. He's dueling Taimu on the side right now. Both tanks still up, and a self-destruct inside that tiny room. Going to zone the members of Fuel out and force the Transcendence.
That's one way to get your mech back. Oh, altering down. Coco and Seagull combine for that kill, and Dallas with a great opportunity down. No Mercy may equal no problem taking point A for the Fuel, and it looks like they will finally get it.
Oh boy, and Altering using that Valkyrie and the late kill onto Undead could open this up for a big snowball from the Fuel. They still have the Valkyrie on their side. Dallas can push this immediately.
Seagull down to 10 HP there, and if he had been taken out, that would have been a bummer for Dallas, because that breaks momentum, but he got the kill, got what he needed to get done, and now they are on to point B with a lot of tools to use here. Seagull with the Dragon Blade. MG push back, DMEC now. They've got them bottled up by Spawn, and here comes the Dragon Blade. Can he get the kills? There goes Freefeel. That was big. Now looking for one into MG, no more D.Va to worry about for the moment. Coco helping out here.
Flashbang missed right there, so
Yep.
Undead not going to be catching Seagull, trying to get some damage in, but the defense matrix is there.
Wow, and that's going to be it. Dallas will finish, and they have 3:19 left on the clock. So despite a very shaky point A, they crush point B and really come out ahead in time bank.
Shanghai was too desperate to hold on point A. If they had held on to some of those support ultimates, they would have been in much better shape to maintain their lead in this game. Instead, Dallas Fuel see that opening. It was not only the use of the Transcendence, it was the late deaths too. The staggers were absolutely brutal. You rarely get that big of a window, not only in ult snowball, but in just man advantage heading from a point A to point B, and Dallas Fuel easily takes advantage of it.
Yeah, both Undead and Freefeel falling to Coco and Seagull as they got a little bit of a head start on point B and certainly helped make the difference. So we're going into time bank now. 1 minute and 9 seconds for Shanghai, 3 minutes and 19 seconds for Dallas Fuel. So Shanghai finds themselves on the other side now from what they experienced in Eichenwald, where they are the ones trying to do more with less.
Now going back to a similar strategy, they will not be playing the Roadhog this time around, switching it back up for the D.Va for Mickey instead.
That's right. And here we go. Windows broken out, railings destroyed. It's time for a round of Overwatch. No safety.
No safety.
Anyway, no windows, no railing.
OSHA is appalled.
That's right. OSHA watch. It's a whole different game.
A really boring one.
That's right. Shanghai on the attack. They're already down to 50 seconds. Remember, they did not have a lot of time to start with. They need to make things happen in a hurry here.
Gonna try and dive across the open space right now. Dia wants to play that Junkrat on attack, so they are changing their strategy. Undead surprisingly on the Tracer. Saw a lot of this at the World Cup stage in Shanghai from him, but not typically what we've seen in the Overwatch League.
All right, so now Shanghai, they've lost MG's mech actually, and they've lost MG. So both the support and the D.Va down. Shanghai just kind of trickling into the point. And although Undead gets a kill onto Taimu, Shanghai is going to be scrambling. They are down to just 15 seconds. They got to get there.
And on a slow setup like that, Doa, you cannot lose your Mercy first. They lose so much time trying to get into a flanking position, and it's shut down instantaneously. So Dallas looking good. Roshan still around the side. Taimu will take out Undead.
Big kill on Undead there by Taimu. Dallas already fighting a man up here going into this one. Seagull with the kill onto Roshan and the D-Mech onto MG. Everything going Dallas's way so far. Undead back on that Tracer. Oh, but Harry Hook is ready. The orbs to the face, and Dallas will prevent Shanghai from taking even a tick on point A.
And now Shanghai certainly has their work cut out for them. Dallas needs only one tick, a third of the point in 3 minutes. So a very doable push here from the Dallas Fuel.
Oh, absolutely.
To even up this series.
Yeah, really good chance for Dallas Fuel now to tie this one up. 1 map to 1 map here. Only needing that first third of point A taken for them to win Horizon Lunar Colony. So Shanghai is really going to have to pull out all the stops for the defense here. And they did a pretty good job on point A. Last time around, they did force Dallas down to basically their last push. They're going to kind of need to do the same thing now.
Yeah, absolutely they are. And I don't think we're going to see really too much different from Dallas. I'd be pretty confident, again, going with the Genji, trying to force them off the high ground.
That's right. So, Dallas Fuel setting up the attack. And as much as I love seeing Seagull play Hanzo, I think maybe we'll see a Sonic Arrow come out, but that's going to be about it from that one. But you never know.
Sometimes you just want to test and make sure that you're not dealing with a dive defense that would be positioned further forward.
True. I mean, with Shanghai, you know, in such a tough spot, sometimes you do see those very far forward defenses. And ooh, a trap has been set. Big trap. Will anyone fall for it? We'll find out. Dallas coming in now.
So will be a swap back over to the Genji as expected. They're going to see exactly the same defense.
Yep, just kind of
that
checking
they saw before. Coco's going to be the first one across the gap. Seagull is not going to lose his life to a headshot flick as he dashes.
Well, you
over.
saw Mickey was right there with him using the defensive matrix, so they weren't gonna
They
allow Seagull to get picked off there. Oh, goes in, gets a big dash, and that's a lot of damage from Coco too.
Sleep dart on a Seagull though.
Yeah, finally comes through. There's the kill, but Coco with the kill onto Undead. Freefeel nearly down, and now they're gonna chase Altering away. So back on the point is Dallas already. Altering is down. The door is open for Dallas to win Lunar Colony if they can just grind out the rest of this fight, and I think they can. That should be it. First tick taken, and Dallas Fuel will tie up this series.
Looked grim there for a moment, but Dallas Fuel, I think their veteran shot calling coming through in the end, realizing that they had a massive window of opportunity.
Well, it was really the protection of Seagull that set this one up, right? Mickey getting him in position, Seagull getting a huge dash through a lot of people. Taimu, of course, with some of the shots on this map too, making a difference, but on point A, Coco and Seagull coming through. Halftime, when we come back, guys, we're all tied up.
Bleeding. I need help. I'm blink out, play mid. Gate. Come gate. Backline, come gate. Get on gate. There's a gate. Guys. Marking score. Super low. Dead. I'll try that here. Nice. Good job.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network. Omened by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League. And by Intel, the official computer processor of the Overwatch League. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is halftime. We are back in the building. It's Puckett alongside Crumbs in Reinforce, and we got a lot to talk about here. Dallas Fuel and the Shanghai Dragons all tied up at 1 apiece, and it started with the Dragons striking first. Now today, Dallas is the home team. They get the defender's advantage, and this had me nervous for the Shanghai Dragons after watching them in week 4. But coming into Eichenwald, they started out on a hot streak, and it all came from Dia on the spar.
Yeah, the Dia was just wrecking base this entire game. He had, I believe it was like 34% direct accuracy on his fire, but most of all, there was only 4 fights in the offense from the Shanghai Dragons, and all of them were won pretty much off the hand of Dia. Some of them had the assistance of Altering helping him out, but Seagull was no stranger to also making the Pharah work, so that's why you have him starting in this first map, because of the Pharah, which Johnny highlighted in the pregame.
Yes, and I actually played some Genji as well here on the offense, as we saw him just power through the backline. It was a bit of a weird approach, I'd say, coming out of a Genji, because usually I see a Genji pair up with a Winston and dive either on the front line or the back line. But we saw Seagull often flanking around himself and being utilized sort of similarly to a Tracer, but on a Genji. So he was a real nuisance in the backline.
Still trying to get that flank action in the game. Crumbs, let's talk about some of the issues we saw from Dallas, though, because it was Shanghai Dragons who had the faster score, and then, of course, they were able to get the overtime.
Yeah, so I was expecting them to be running out the Orisa Hawk combination. We all know how it works. You throw the ball, the hook comes out, but the Shanghai Dragons decided that their strategy was to tank it, and it actually works. If you have the Hawk, tank the hook every time, and then the D.Va comes in, blocks all the follow-up damage. If it's necessary, you have Take a Vape. That keeps you alive the longest. And twice, that was the way that the Shanghai Dragons broke through the Dallas offense. So they're really struggling to understand how to deal with this setup. And this is, again, Dallas going in. So they pop the bubble as an exchange, but this is an engage without the Winston bubble. And then Mercy comes along, burns her own Valkyrie to salvage for an individual mistake. And I think that's what's been plaguing Dallas. They're making a lot of individual errors, and to just keep things along, instead of forcing a reset, they say, let's commit more ultimates, let's try to make it work. It started off on the wrong foot, but just like so many other things, if you start poorly, it's gonna end poorly.
Now, Johnny, coming into the match, you said that maps may be an issue for the Dallas Fuel. After dropping Eichenwald, what were your thoughts coming into Horizon?
Well, Horizon, we've seen Shanghai play the Sombra and Tracer comp, which Monty touched on, and they have looked pretty good on it overall. But then again, Dallas Fuel, they are so good on this Orisa, Junkrat, and Roadhog composition. We have seen from them quite a lot of them in the past, of course, and it was their go-to composition for a while. And given that it's so strong on Horizon, I don't think it was a huge surprise that they actually managed to get those picks necessary. But still, it was a bit too close for comfort, I'd say.
So I actually think the composition didn't do as much as it could have when it comes to getting those hooks, but what it did was it forced a lot of the Shanghai Dragons to disperse, to try to find ways around to not fall into that trap of the combination, and instead it just ends up in them getting individually picked off time and time again, resulting in more staggers. And so while the comp doesn't do a whole lot, it's the idea behind it, the way you have to play around it, that ends up causing chaos for the Shanghai Dragons.
Let's talk about what's going right for both of the teams after seeing 1 win each. Who have been the standout players, starting with you, Crumbs?
I mean, I think Dia has been really standout for me. He has just been very impressive, but these have been very polarizing games. You have Shanghai, which you could say basically just rolled over game 1, and then alternatively on the second one, except for the first point A hold, Dallas looked like they had it the whole way through, so I still think it's too early to say if somebody really is just standing way above the other.
Johnny, any of your favorite players in the lineup so far? Who you been watching?
Well, Undead actually took the Widowmaker duel to Taimu, and that was quite impressive to see. I think it's a side effect of necessarily not having Effects Tracer hit the backline. So we often saw Shanghai Dragons play pretty well together, and they weren't as disjointed because there's no Tracer applying pressure to the backline. So Undead could just sit behind the Orisa shield pretty much all the time and got quite a few snipes onto Taimu. That was pretty impressive, given Taimu, he is so good on that Widowmaker.
If Shanghai's going to walk away with the victory today, it would be their first of the regular season, and they need just 2 more maps to get the job done. We're tied up here at halftime. Let's close it out with the final predictions. Does your prediction change, or are you staying with Shanghai,
Of course it does not change. It stays with the Shanghai Dragons because Oasis comes up next, and when they bust out their own Orisa Hawk combination, they've actually seen a lot of success, especially in University. So I think that this team is going to have a strong control point, although Dallas is good in it too.
Johnny, we have Oasis, we've got Dorado, and if it goes to a Game 5, it's Lijiang Tower. who walks away with the victory today?
Shanghai Dragons actually look like favorites in this one. We have Oasis, of course, so that guarantees a map 5. And given they have looked so good on control, I think that Lijiang could actually be pretty close. So I'm actually giving it to Shanghai Dragons here as well.
Both of our analysts are going with Shanghai now. Let's hear it in the audience. Who's siding with Shanghai? Who wants to see Dallas Fuel lock up a win today? Feel like it's 50-50 split here in the venue. That is going to do it for our halftime coverage. Make sure you join us for the second half. It's coming up with Oasis, Big Game 3.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places.
Nobody expected the Super Bowl to be a close game, but it was. Nobody expected this match between the Shanghai Dragons and the Dallas Fuel to be a close game, but here we are, tied up at 1-1. You guys ready for the second half? All right, well, to get us into the action, let's send it back over to the casters, Monty and Doa.
All right, thank you, Malik. We're getting the World Cup band back together. That's right.
I'm excited.
That's right. Well, we traveled for like 5 weeks nonstop with that dude at the World Cup, man. It was a good time.
The hardest
we literally
thing was
went around the earth.
The hardest thing was being with you for 5 weeks, as usual.
Hey, it's been 5 years, you realize.
I know.
At this point, you should be used to it, I would
basically
say.
married.
Pretty much, yeah. You heard it here first, folks. Well, Horizon Lunar Colony went the way of Dallas Fuel. We're going to Oasis next. And control map-wise, Dallas has shown us some pretty interesting stuff over the course of the season. It's been odd, but it's been generally well executed. But
yeah, you'd think, hey, Dallas Fuel probably isn't that good at Oasis because they haven't had a top-tier Pharah player.
Yeah.
But it's actually one of their better maps. They're 2-1 on this map, and just last week when they played against New York, they dealt New York's first ever control loss.
Well, they've rejected the Pharah almost completely on this. They've pretty much said, you know what? We're just going to do our own thing. And what their own thing ends up being is a kind of a tanky, shield-oriented style where they've been trying to set up these hard points with like a Orisa Roadhog and say, you know, we're just going to sit on the point, and if you want to come close, we're going to grab somebody on your team and instantly kill them.
Yeah, and the thing is, they have been doing it with a lot of Tracer, except for University. Both of these teams like to run the McCree Junkrat on University, and Shanghai Dragons have had some success on University, winning points at times as well.
But with still no effect put in by Dallas today, things might be a little bit different than we're used to.
I'd also be really scared of Gardens with Dia playing as well as he did on Eichenwald on the Pharah, but for now it looks like they may just be going Tracer McCree.
I'm surprised. Still no effect, even going into control, but Dallas wants to handle it their way. Time on the McCree, like you mentioned, they're going to boost people out with chips on the Lucio. Just going to swap over to the Mercy, it looks like, though.
Yep, both teams.
All right.
It's using the boost and then switching over to the Mercy yet again.
Yep.
Will be Seagull back on the Junkrat. So this is a strategy that we've seen on Gardens from the side of the Dallas Fuel before, as well as New York has actually made it work. The Junkrat McCree with the Orisa and Roadhog, just trying to sit on the corner of the point. And this is going to be really effective, actually, as we see that.
Yeah, 2 kills already off the bat. And when you have teams like this that have a strong Roadhog, have a strong McCree, you can really make this work.
Well, yeah, the problem is, too, is that Shanghai just have a bad comp to deal with the Orisa barrier. Like, what are you going to do? Just poking away with a McCree and a Tracer as the Orisa barrier sits there in the corner. It gives them so much time to hit the halt and to hit the hooks, as we saw right now. Basically infinite fishing with the side of the Fuel.
Oh, come here, MG. Have some damage.
And they just saw him use his boost, so he's got nothing.
That's right. Mickey has to take a breather on the way out, though, as Roshan comes in for a bit of pressure. They didn't get the DMAC on the MG. Altering did go down, though. Seagull with the kill there. And Mickey somehow, some way, still alive. Dia trying to finish him off, but he got the breather back again. And Dallas will hold. They didn't need to use anything with that.
You can't use the Diva boost to get onto the high ground, because if you're picked off like that, basically MG was jumping up and down, just waiting to get DMAC there after his defense matrix ran out.
Distraction time.
An ineffective one at that. So Shanghai needs to adjust their strategy. They did go for the Soldier 76, but I don't know. I think Dia could really use a switch here.
Oh! Close call on the platform.
Very close call, Taimu. Wanted that pick. He's going to find one no matter what. He actually kills Dia in the end.
Who needs a flashbang when you've got headshots like that? Taimu making his presence felt in a way that few McCrees can.
This has been a dominant showing so far from Dallas, and you'll notice they haven't even had to use an ult yet. Shanghai's been very slow in building their own ultimates because they've been convincingly losing every fight thus far.
Well, they've got a lot of ults coming in to work with now. Undead swapped over to the Pharah for the moment, but then swapped to the Reaper. So they're going to try to bust through these shields and bust through the tanks as well.
This is much better. You either want to run dive here and try and get behind the barrier, or just run through it with the Reaper.
Now he finds Dia. All right, Seagull deciding to take that kill. Since he had the opportunity, Mickey pushing MG out with that whole hog. There's another DMAC, I think. Yeah, he did get the DMAC, and now the res is coming in from Altering. Both Mercies popping that Valkyrie. Meanwhile, Taimu trying to do what he can. He's stayed safe on the side here. Ooh, misses those shots onto Dia, but he's got an opportunity on a free field. Yeah, sets him up for the kill, and there's one onto Roshan. Man, that reaction time gets him with a flashbang right as he lands, and they will just take the point right back again. And we're into OT, back to 99%, and with the Mercy kill onto Altering, courtesy of Chips. That may be all Dallas needs to take the first round. It looks like it will be. And Dallas strikes first here on Oasis.
And Chips was the hero of that last push. He was bringing the DPS back up, and Coco nearly died, but while Chips was on a mission across the map to prevent MG from remeching, killed MG, then killed the enemy Mercy Altering to just close it out. So Chips, who's had some issues in terms of positioning tonight, really did make the play there.
I mean, that man on your screen right there used to be one of the best Anas in the game. Still, arguably, I'd say, if he got to play it a little bit more. So he's no stranger to taking people out on the other side himself. And even if you're playing the Mercy, you can still pull out that pistol once in a while.
Oh, yeah, he did there. And we are going to head into City Center
as
our second point.
Round
Here we go. All right, City Center. And no Pharahs on either side.
Yeah, Pharah not as necessary. A lot of teams prefer to run McCree Tracer on this, getting the high ground taken care of. But Dallas Fuel going to be running something quite odd, which is Widowmaker Soldier. So big time poke composition, and they've already posted to the high ground right now, but they've got to get some presence on the point.
Yeah, at some point you got to drop down and take it. Shanghai on the point already. Undead force back, taken down. Seagull catches him with that Helix rocket. Dia meanwhile flanking on the side, gets behind Mickey, gets that D-Mech it looks like. And now trying to take down Taimu, who's fighting that 1v1. Back up to the high ground, turns around for the shot. Dia doesn't give it to him though. Kind of forced out, but the brawl continues here. Roshan down. There's a kill that Dallas really needs.
Now they're going to push forward into the supports.
Yep, that's right. Meanwhile, Undead on the Doomfist. I'm loving it. And we'll see if he can make it work, though. Seagull trapped in room. You don't want to be in there with Doomfist, man. That's too dangerous. But Taimu comes in, and Dallas takes the point anyway.
And is Undead staying on the Doomfist here to try and challenge the high ground will be the next question. Or did he just do it to try and push back and get onto the point as fast as he could? He's going to stick with it. He's going to stick with it. So why he's doing this is because they want to dive quickly onto the high ground, because they know that there's all of this long-range damage, but not a whole lot that the Dallas Fuel are going to be able to do up close.
That's right. Now Taimu onto that high ground, and that's where they want him. Can they take advantage? Undead with the kill onto Seagull. Gets him with the rocket punch. Seagull brought back up again, though. And so Taimu now forced off the high ground, doesn't have that grapple cooldown, has to be very careful, but he gets the heals, and Roshan has gone too deep. Altering comes in with the res anyway. And Harry Hook just looking for a victim, puts a lot of orbs into Roshan here. Oh, but taken out before he can really heal Mickey too much. Mickey using that self-destruct, and he gets back into the mech. So he's still okay for the moment, but it's all about the delay from Dallas. As long as they can.
Coco going to try and drop back onto the point here. He was just waiting in the wings so that they could stagger it, but Mickey staying alive for a surprisingly long time. Seagull nearly back to the tactical visor.
Seagull got his mech back. That was crazy. The kill on Freefield stayed alive, and now jumps in and kills Altering. Clutch play from Mickey on this D.Va. One of the best out there, and we're seeing it again right now.
And he's going to get healed up with the Transcendence too, so the fact that his teammates made it back. Mickey had a beautiful stall.
That was a one-man show from Mickey there to keep the point in favor of Dallas Fuel. Came out with 2 support kills under his belt at the end of that. Some pretty impressive D.Va highlights.
Yeah, needed to get those 2. Yeah. Even after Seagull had died a couple of times to the Doomfist, Seagull needs to stay a little bit more in the open, it would seem. Undead still very far away
96%.
From getting his ult, and the tac visor is going to be the only thing up here for the Dallas Fuel.
Shanghai needs to take this back right now. Oh, great shot from Seagull to take out Dia. He's going to go ahead and use that tac visor, zoning out. More members of Shanghai, and Roshan can't live long enough to do anything. Goodbye Doomfist is Undead taken out, and that self-destruct is not going to be a whole lot of concern for Dallas.
Taimu going to kill MG before he can remech. That's going to be the end of it. So Fuel.
That is a fast 2-0 from Dallas Fuel. Wow.
Super convincing on Oasis. This was going to be Dallas's best map coming into this series, and they show us how they could take out the New York Excelsior on Control.
Well, it legitimately does not get too much more one-sided than what we just saw from Dallas Fuel on Oasis coming in, pretty much smashing Shanghai, and no small part due to Taimu coming in, but Chipchan had a great series. Yeah, there's the kill on the MG. Gonna find one on Altering too, guys. A lot more Overwatch coming up. Another map right after this.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Intel, the official computer processor of the Overwatch League. T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Hey guys, Zoe here. Now, everyone has been, yeah, that's right. Now, everyone has been wondering why Effect, a key player for the Dallas Fuel, has not been in the lineup and hasn't been subbed in yet. Now, of course, during halftime, I got to talk to the team, and they actually told me that due to personal reasons, Effect is not able to attend the match today at all. And that means the team has to make do without him. Let's see if they can overcome his absence in map number 4. Can they tie up the series? We're gonna find out together with Monty and Dua.
Thank you, Zoe. Well, there you have it. Effect not able to be here today, it looks like. And Dallas, though, I got to say, looking pretty good on Oasis either way. But Shanghai, what do you think? Do you think they can tie things up here on Dorado?
I want to see them play more of the Pharah. I'm actually really disappointed that Shanghai played so well around the Pharah in the first map, and yet we haven't seen it come out otherwise. And this is certainly a map where you can run the Pharah yet again. You know exactly what Dallas Fuel are going to be playing. They're going to be playing Widowmaker Junkrat. That's one of the only comps they can effectively play with this lineup. Maybe we'll see a bit more of the Genji come out on attack, because Seagull's been having a pretty good day on Genji overall, actually. So.
He really has. I mean, you know, a lot of us have been critical of his Genji lately, and for good reason, but I think he's leveled up in a big way in this match against Shanghai, certainly showing that on Lunar Colony. And like you mentioned, Dorado is another map you can bring that out on. But as far as the Shanghai side goes, I think you're right. I think we are going to probably see a little bit more Pharah come out.
I hope so. I mean, he was so good on it.
It would make sense.
Map.
Yeah.
And you can control space a little bit better, try and force Taimu off of some of the high ground perches and positioning. You can come around on the flank with your Mercy and try and play from the opposite side of the market to get a bit of crossfire coming in from your team as you try and make your way through that choke, the initial choke point. So there's a lot of options, I think, for Pharah play on this map, and I'd like to see a little bit more of that from the Shanghai Dragons on the attack. And I think if you're Dallas Fuel and you're playing defense, you should be super confident in that composition you're running right there. Orisa Roadhog, Junkrat, and Widowmaker, you were dominant on Oasis running it, and just keep playing it until they force you to change.
Yeah, keep doing what's working. You know, if they say if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? And if you're Junkrat, if it's not broke, then absolutely break it some more.
And this is a comp, as Desk mentioned, that has been the bread and butter of the Dallas Fuel. They have looked the best running this, so just keep on rolling with it for the time being. That's what we're going to see. And on the opposite side, it will be Undead just using a Sonic Arrow out of the door, and then going to be changing. They're trying to check and make sure nobody's on the roofs right there with the halt. And Undead goes over to the Widowmaker.
Now, Undead was winning a lot of the Widow duels initially against Taimu. It ended up kind of being even up towards the end of Lunar Colony, but something that I'm sure is on both of these players' minds right now.
So the Dallas Fuel are going to retreat off the high ground instantly and try and play around this choke point instead. So moving further back, giving up some ground on the payload.
Whoa, there it is.
Get that snipe in, and Dia is going to be spamming over the top.
Yep. Taimu with the early kill on the Widow v Widow. And not in a place where Undead can be rezzed. The spawn is so close anyway, though, that you don't really need to use it if you're Shanghai. You can just kind of wait. There's a kill on a Roshan, though. I think that was a hook combo, and Seagull getting the finishing blow on that one. I heard it come through, and Dallas defending pretty early and pretty aggressively here on Dorado.
That's super sloppy from the side of Shanghai. While you're waiting for a reset, you can't give away further kills which stagger you. So don't even stand next to that corner when they have the halt up and ready to use.
Yeah, very true. You got to move towards that payload eventually, though, and that's exactly what Shanghai's going to do. They're going to try to do it along with the Riptire coming in from Seagull. They have to watch out for that. Where is it? There it is. Freefield finds it, but not in the way he really wanted to. Altering comes in with the resurrection onto the Zenyatta anyway, and Shanghai's going to try to keep pushing here. They do have the D-Mech and the kill, actually, on the Mickey. And there's the kill on the Coco. Both tanks out of the way right now. Chips coming in. Can he make enough of the difference? He's got the Valkyrie. Can he get to the other res? He does. Mickey's right there. Undead with some clean shots. And Dia with the 3-man Riptire kill. That is exactly what the Dragons needed.
Yeah, Mickey was too far up, got hooked in, and that started this whole snowball. So another positional error, this time for the Dallas Fuel. Shanghai Dragons instantly take advantage of it, and they will take point A as a result.
Let's check out this Riptire from Dia again.
Was a beauty.
Yep, that's right.
Trying to catch up there, but realize
oh boy,
not gonna get it. But he also knows at that point there's no more Resurrects available, so he can go directly for that back line. Chips is trying to get out of there.
That's right.
And is caught with his teammates. That's up Riptire play there by Dia.
Kind of finding a place too where Chips didn't really have anywhere to escape to as Mercy. No one to really Guardian Angel to in that position. They'll get that point A pretty smoothly. Dia does go down. Seagull over on the Genji now. Swapping. Doing well already. Undead taking a lot of big shots. Has to back off after the hook onto Mickey. Does get the D-Mech in the end anyway, though. And Shanghai trying not to be stalled out here. Ooh, another tank pulled in. And there's the whole hog actually used. Undead going to advance forward along with Freefield's Zenyatta ultimate. They're tired of waiting around at this point. And they're going to push Dallas back.
They're just going to bully their way onto the payload now with the triple tank look. Seagull swapped over to the Genji so that they can take control of the high ground. Problem is that you're not going to be doing a lot to this many tanks with the Widowmaker and with the Genji.
Well, they had to use two just to get the payload rolling there. Two ultimates, rather. Supercharger and Whole Hog. It is moving now, though. Seagull narrowly missing that kill.
I mean, you definitely prefer to stay on the Junkrat here.
Oh,
if
nice
you're Dallas.
Wow, you do not expect the Roadhog to come from there. That was a long flank from Undead. Seagull pulls out the Dragon Blade in response, but can't really get a whole lot out of it. Freefield rezzed immediately here.
Well, that's the problem, though, is your only viable targets if you're Seagull during that Dragon Blade are the supports.
Yep, that's right. Roshan down again, but did I say down? I meant down and resurrected immediately. MG's still there again. Harry Hook finally falls a bit more permanently, I'd imagine, as Dallas jumps in. Ooh, Freefield being kept alive by altering, barely doing a nice reflect into MG, but he will get taken out by the Zenyatta anyway. Dallas push all the way back to the end of point B, and that's another hook onto Taimu. Oh, luckily he had the protection, but it's not going to stop Shanghai from taking the point, it looks like.
Yeah, there's still a couple members on the payload, but you're going to be dying quickly. Harry Hook nearly down, gets halted and pulled off. Just about dying on the payload right now. Taimu zips in with the grapple, but it's going to be quite a bit of time for the Shanghai Dragons.
Yep, sure enough. Oh, Coco can't even get out. That is a rough one, man.
All right, Seagull is swapping right now. Taimu on the far, so making big adjustments. I think the Junkrat probably should have been swapped to earlier because simply it wasn't Seagull's play. It was just the composition the Dragons were running was giving him very few opportunities. Undead.
Wow, Undead.
He's been sneaking around quite a bit.
He's gotten so many clutch hooks in this attack round already. Backing off, doesn't have that breather, but he is getting a little bit of healing. There we go. That's a lot of healing with the Transcendence, I suppose. Coco down again. He has died early in a lot of these fights here on Dorado so far. Seagull falls as well in this pharmacy. Not able to do a whole lot without anyone actually there to stop the payload.
I mean, I do like the theory of it, switching over to the Junkrat and the Pharah. You just wonder if it's a little bit too late. And also the Pharah. Yeah, the Pharah is just going to feed support ult percentage over to the Shanghai Dragons if there's not any kill pressure with it.
Yeah, that's a nice self-destruct coming in from MG. Ketsu ships in with that one. Transcendence from Harry Hook. It's a last-ditch defense for Dallas Fuel right at the end of point C here. They do get the supercharger, but they don't have much else. That's a tricky self-destruct sent in by Mickey. Forces Shanghai into an inopportune situation, but they do manage to turn it to their advantage with some kills. Undead pushing everybody back with that whole hog, and that'll be it. Shanghai with 2 minutes and 7 seconds on the clock. That was a pretty solid attack round from them.
Absolutely it was, Doa. But you have to question the Fuel in that situation just as much as you praise the Shanghai Dragons.
Absolutely.
With Undead, did he play a great Roadhog? Absolutely he did. And the switch to triple tank was part of the reason why they pushed through that first point on the marketplace. But when you look at what the Dallas Fuel was running, the Junkrat is perfect for dealing with that scenario because you're going to just be getting so much ult charge from the Riptire by shooting a triple tank combination. And then you can use the constant Riptires to kill their supports without having to dive in. You don't have to be worried about trying to get a Dragon Blade and going in by yourself on the Genji. Your targets are still exactly the same. It's still going to be the supports, but there's so much less risk of doing it with the Junkrat, and you're just going to charge your ult so much faster. So you really, I think it was a really delayed switch right there. I think they got it in the end, but by the time the Pharah and the Junkrat came out, they were incredibly badly staggered in point C.
You know, it's one of those things where, you know, as Seagull, you have had a legitimately good day on Genji up to this point, and so you're kind of thinking, hey, maybe against this team I can take this, I can just carry on a more individual level, but you know, you do have to look at what's coming at you on the other side.
Yeah, it is about the team compositions and the strategy that they're using. So now Shanghai with a big edge, and a lot of that was them throwing the Dallas Fuel off kilter with a less commonly seen composition.
Yep. Worked well. Trap setup as Dallas Fuel gets ready for their attack run. Again, they've got, you know, it feels like we've seen it just go back and forth every map as far as a team having a major advantage. Obviously on Oasis, Dallas crushed it, but now finding themselves needing a pretty solid attack run, and by pretty solid, I mean extremely solid attack run. Have more time at the time bank. Let's see if they can do it.
Taimu coming out with the Pharah. Seagull on the Hanzo for now. See if he will swap off. He is still in spawn.
Tough for Taimu on the Pharah there to deal with that Widowmaker. Seagull will swap to the Genji right away as Shanghai gives up that high ground, gets set up to block that choke.
I mean, it's okay because you can still have the Mercy come with you around the flank. You're seeing actually all four of them. So Coco, Seagull, and Taimu with Chipscion are all on the side here. They're going to coordinate a dive over the back to try and deal with this Widowmaker or the supports immediately.
Big backline dive coming in. Coco right there along with Taimu and everybody else. They're coming in. Shanghai has to react. Coco diving in again. Mickey DMEC though, altering taken out. That's the kill they were looking for. No mercy for Shanghai right now. And Taimu, no mercy from his Pharah either. As they try to DMEC MG, it looks like they will. That was a pretty crisply executed dive from Dallas.
Well, that's what we said. Dallas has not been really failing in terms of their execution. And again, sometimes it takes them a while to set up, but once they strike hard.
True.
And with that 4-man dive into the backline, they will find success. So a quick point A will keep them moving.
Yeah, nice for Harry Hook, actually. They took the point right before he respawned, so he got that little bit closer spawn coming back with the Lucio. Won't have to wait to join his team as they get things started at point B. So far, so good for Dallas.
And not only that, but Dallas is going to have a chance here to really command the high ground.
Yeah, they do. Seagull right there has to back away and be a little bit more careful. Coco does get taken out, so the support not there for the Winston. Mickey DMEC'd as well, so they've lost both tanks, and now Shanghai with an opportunity to set up a really strong defense.
Yeah, they have to go back. Taimu is actually still sitting on the flank right now around the far side. So he's just being patient right now behind the courthouse, waiting for his teammates to step back up again. They don't know that he's there. Now they do.
Yeah, but he's trying to distract them. He's just going to rejoin his team and see if he can draw a couple of them out of position while they try to push around this corner. Shanghai right back there again, though. MG staying strong on the point for the moment. He's got Roshan there as well. Here comes a Riptire from Dia. Some kills, gets on there, and Dallas, oh, that's some trouble. Chips gets caught. Dia patient with that one. He did die to Taimu, but again, Dallas losing that Mercy is a little bit more crucial at this point.
Yeah, especially with the Resurrection coming in and Taimu found by Undead.
Yeah, that's right. Transcendence for Shanghai Dragons as they jump onto the point, trying to be efficient with it, and Undead gets the kill onto Seagull too. So Dallas, they've got a lot of ultimates to work with. They've nearly got 6. Here is where they need to put them to use.
Yeah. Trivial also really didn't have to use the Transcendence there with 2 already down for the Dallas Fuel. Dallas going to come back with a 6 ult push now.
Yeah, and only that Valkyrie on the side of Shanghai too. So if they can mitigate Ultraring's effect on the fight, they should be able to get some real good progress here.
Seagull without that Trance is going to be super happy to try and find that Dragon Blade.
Sound barrier given to Seagulls. He comes in with the Dragon Blade. Free field down and he wants more. Doesn't really find it. There we go. Finally gets Undead at the end. Ultraring brings Freefield back up. They couldn't kill the Mercy, and Shanghai can maybe use that to their advantage here.
Need to get Roshan off the payload to start things off.
Yep, that's right. Dallas still coming back. There's another res, this time onto MG, who gets barely back into his back. Taimu goes ahead and uses a barrage just to deny the D.Va from being part of the fight. And that payload is moving. Roshan still being annoying in the back line, so Primal Rage finally jumping back onto it, and they can't quite finish him off.
And through all the madness, Chips holds his Valkyrie the entire time. So Dallas uses everything else out, but the communication is there to maintain a decent ult economy heading into the end of point B.
Yeah. Now the Valk gets used. Dallas wanting to push through to point B here. They're on the payload, though. There goes Harry Hook, taken out early. Harry Hook res again by Chips, of course. Taimu trying to fight that 1v1 against Undead on the Widow. Getting a little bit low, 45 health remaining. Any shot could kill him, but Seagull there to get the kill on the Widowmaker. Dallas, though, not making any progress with that payload as the Transcendence comes in from Freefield. They need to get some more kills, and that'll work. Both supports down. And Dallas trying to just perform a bit of cleanup here to finish off point B.
That'll be Dia and MG eventually falling, and point B
They got him.
Will be taken. So it did cost them the sound barrier that they had just built up. But again, we see Freefield. The Dragon Blade has been offset with Shanghai Dragon's Transcendence this entire time. So Seagull's going to find a lot of these openings.
Yeah.
Had one last time with the help of the sound barrier.
Nothing feels worse than using Transcendence and then having the Genji upload Dragon Blade right after it's done.
It is definitely a bad moment.
Trust me on that one. That one does not feel good. They need Dia and MG to use those ults efficiently right now. Seagull taking a little bit of damage, gets out. He's onto the high ground, trying to cut down Undead. Here's the Dragon Blade going after Altering. He can't get to him. Mickey, though, finds Undead with that self-destruct. And now Seagull sitting on the payload, trying to delay Altering the ability to get back into the fight. MG is going to get demeched again almost immediately, it looks like. Yep, he certainly will. But Altering still up, still being annoying on that Mercy with that Valkyrie. Chips down. So Dallas in a lot of trouble here right now. They're going to get Altering. Maybe that's going to be enough to keep it pushing.
Only their tanks up right now, Doa. Taimu trying to get back into this fight on the McCree, but without any heals, they're going to have to back off.
Yeah, the spawn advantage is just too strong for the defender on this point to really keep grinding it out like Dallas has been trying to do.
And we're also going to not see any more of the Lucio as Harry Hook transitions over to the Zenyatta.
That's right. Dia, been holding that pulse bomb for a while now. Being very patient about it. They're going to get the D-Mech on the Mickey again. There's a nice kill from Dia.
They're going to have to back off again, so... Chips has the Valkyrie, but they haven't been able to use it really. Coco will fall, and Altering now nearly has his own Valkyrie back up. So Dallas Fuel had a chance to try and push forward with a support ult advantage. Didn't find it because of some picks that happened at the beginning, particularly Mickey getting demeched.
I think you can call that a bit of an economy push because they still have a minute and a half left, and now they're going to have a lot of ults coming up very soon. They were able to use these well to take point B. Can they use them to take point C? Here comes the Dragon Blade. Seagull says yes, but now the Transcendence available for Freefield just in the nick of time. The kill's coming in anyway, but Altering there with the Resurrection. Seagull just trying to finish people off. Can't get MG. Taimu, Deadeye, can they get through the Winston shield? Oh no, not quite. They can't do it. MG demeched anyway. And Taimu gonna take advantage of that one. Roshan a bit low, but he's getting that healing from Altering. Altering now on his own, and so Dallas, again, waiting for those ults, using them to win a fight and push the payload, but here's where it gets really tough at the end.
Mickey gonna get his suit back as he's resurrected. Harry Hook still has the Transcendence. MG nearly there with a self-destruct. So Dallas Fuel just trying to finish this out, make sure they have some time in the time bank.
That would be pretty crucial for them to get it. Seagull just zoning. Nice kill on the Undead. He's got the Reflect and Altering in a bit of trouble, ducking back into spawn, but that's going to give Dallas more time to handle everybody else from Shanghai. Altering brings a res in. There's the self-destruct. Dallas backs off for a moment, but they're still on the payload. MG, the only one there from Shanghai. Everyone else zoned back by Coco, who's got that Primal Rage. Altering can't get in. Seagull there with the Dragon Blade, and that payload is rolling in, and they will finish. So Dallas does manage to complete their attack run. Just barely, but they've kept this round going.
That was some excellent zoning from the ultimates at the end to make sure they drove that payload all the way home with the self-destruct and the Dragon Blade, but they're coming in with significantly less time. 1 minute to 3 minutes and 3 seconds for the Shanghai Dragons. So we have to think that the Dallas Fuel will have to get a huge overtime push for any hope to win here on Dorado. Shanghai certainly in control.
Well, either that or a really strong defense after their attack round ends. One of those things, but at least they've got a shot. Shanghai, though, with a real opportunity here to force this into a map number 5, a tiebreaker on Lijiang Tower, and give themselves a chance to win this series. The last control map didn't go that well for them, though.
No, it didn't. And the Dallas Fuel were quite clean in their execution of their point A attack. Makes you wonder if we're going to see any adjustments from there. Shanghai Dragons, Undead's been flipping around. Was on the McCree, now on the Soldier. So they will not be running the Widowmaker, which was one of the first heroes to fall when Dallas did the 4-hero flank around the backside of A. And they're also going to be playing further forward this time. So pretty different from Shanghai, looking at a poke-oriented composition. And now they're going to try and play on the forward buildings with their tank line.
Well, Taimu being very careful to not give any angles to a possible Widowmaker. There is no Widowmaker this time around, though, so you can see they're going to get a bit more aggressive here. Undead taking some damage, trying to force Shanghai Dragons off of that high ground.
MG has been debacked, though. That's not going to be actually huge as long as Mickey doesn't get debacked in turn.
Yep, that's right.
Coco dies.
Ooh, Coco does fall. MG caught him in Mini Diva somehow. Chips uses a res, so at least Coco died where they can bring him back up again. And now the dive comes in. Mickey and Coco moving forward. Taimu firing from on high. No barrage anytime soon, but he's got a lot of accurate rockets. Altering, ooh, a lot of damage there. Oh, they can't keep him alive, though.
And there's no resurrection.
Nope, not this time. Not for a few more seconds, at least. And Shanghai know they've got the edge. Primal Rage in there, Chips taken out. Everyone on Dallas falling. And I don't even know if they can get back to the payload. I think this push is going to end right here, right now.
And they have to use the self-destruct, but that should be it. Shanghai Dragons holding strong in A.
That's right. They really don't give Dallas a lot of distance at all on this payload. So now it is going to be a pretty Herculean effort for Dallas Fuel to try to hold this and win the map.
3 minutes, and it's barely past that choke point for the Shanghai Dragons. We'll see what Dallas Fuel is going to respond with. Are they going to try and play forward towards the spawn, take that risk in order to slow them down, or are they going to try and run the Junkrat again and just play that choke and hope that they can hold?
Well, if you're Dallas Fuel right now, you're certainly looking at a tough ask to win Dorado here with a hold where Shanghai doesn't need to push the payload hardly at all. But are you feeling okay going into this next control map potentially? I feel like you won't be too concerned.
Yeah, I think with their dominant performance on Oasis, they can feel okay. There are, again, some Pharah maps there where if Dia tries to flip back onto that hero, could be somewhat problematic.
Yeah, Garden could get a little bit tricky if we do end up in Lijiang Tower.
You can play Widow on Garden, though, too. So maybe Taimu would be feeling more comfortable. For now, it is going to be heading back towards the pick composition the Dallas Fuels like to run. They're going to take a look right outside on the high ground and probably retreat immediately. Mickey was caught out in front of the formation last time, so we'll see if Undead is going to switch back. He is actually on the Roadhog again, so they are expecting this.
All right.
Triple tank.
Dallas needs an extremely, extremely solid defense if they want to have any chance of winning Dorado here. 3 minutes for Shanghai as they come around the corner. And it's going to be whoever gets those first Roadhog picks first, I think is going to come out on top.
Yeah, seeing the same strategy. So Dia's spamming that angle so that they can't play quite as far up into the choke point, and they have to put their barrier way back there.
That is smart. All right, now the barrier for Shanghai allows them to push forward here. Altering down, Taimu with an early kill, and they're going to back off.
That is so huge. He killed both supports somehow.
Wow.
He was shooting them from the back of the line. Those were incredibly long-range McCree shots.
Wow, Taimu coming through in the clutch when Dallas needs him, and that's the first minute burned off of the time bank for Shanghai. So again, they barely need to push it any farther, but Dallas has gotten a bit of stability. Let's see what Taimu did here.
Okay, he dropped down from the side. I thought he was at the back. This was very risky, in fact, that he tried to do this, but it ended up paying off.
Wow. That was insane from Taimu, and that's the kind of stuff that that really makes this guy stand out above a lot of other DPS players. He has a slump, but when he's on top, man, he is one of the best.
Just running on his instincts right there.
Yep. All right, Hook comes in, Freefield down. Seagull finds him with that kill. Crucial pick, and here comes a Riptire. A big one here could stall out Shanghai again. Over the top, and he's got Freefield yet again.
There's not going to be a resurrection for him either, so Shanghai going to keep trying to push forward right now.
Yeah, Undead down as well, too. So no tank on the Shanghai side in the Roadhog department anyway.
Valkyrie is up for the Dragons.
Yep, they've nearly got Roshan as well. Roshan very low, Dia drops. Taimu with another crucial kill. Altering decides to bring back his Junkrat. And Taimu with that Deadeye, just buying time. 1 minute, and 10 seconds left for Shanghai to push his payload the rest of the way. Roshan back up again. Here comes Dia. This Riptire could end it. Gets in there. Seagull taken out. Mickey gets a hook onto Roshan though. And here's the Transcendence. Can they get any reses? Seagull brought back by Chips. Undead pushing him away. They need to get there. Oh, that whole hog nearly did it. The payload teetering on the edge, but Seagull comes through with the Riptire kill onto Altering. This is big. Dia down, and now just 40 seconds left for Shanghai. That's absolutely enough time for another push, but Dallas has the supercharger. I guess Shanghai does too, but as a defender, you gotta give them the edge.
And Undead's gonna switch over to the Reaper Doa. He wants to get into the mix right away and start dealing damage. He has a Transcendence. The Transcendence is a great switch with the Trance, actually. If Freefield can get bored, Undead can just unload on the tank line of the Dallas Fuel.
Yeah, they're gonna have to combine
Mickey
the Reaper
needs
with
the
Zen.
whole hog to push them away.
They're trying to surprise Mickey down already. MG with an early kill. There goes Coco, and oh, the defense crumbling for Dallas Fuel. That is it, man. Hario defends as long as any Zenyatta can, but Shanghai will win it at the very end and send us to OT.
Excellent swap at the end. You have to love choices like that. Shanghai switches Undead to the Reaper because they have the Transcendence. Not only that, they kill Mickey first. Mickey was the one who had to stay alive to stop that. He was about 85% of the way to the whole hog, and that was the only thing that was going to be able to push the Trance and the Reaper back. Didn't happen.
That's right, and so we are all tied up, going to a tiebreaker. Lijiang Tower, don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League. Intel, the official computer processor of the Overwatch League. And by T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network.
And we are back here at the Blizzard Esports Arena in Burbank, California, and we are going to a tiebreaker map between Dallas Fuel and Shanghai Dragon. Shanghai with a chance to win their first series of the Overwatch League. Dallas does not want that to happen. They're going to try to hold right here, right now, get their second win, I guess, of the series. But, you know, it's been an exciting one.
It has been an exciting one. I really liked how we saw the changes from Shanghai towards the end of that map. It was a great Reaper swap at the end, realizing which ultimates were available, and how they were going to be able to best push through and take use of them. So some smart communication going on from the Shanghai Dragons side so far. That said, they've been to Lijiang before. They came against the Philadelphia Fusion into this map 5, couldn't actually deliver. So they've got another chance to go ahead and take their first win of the season.
Yeah, and if you're the Dallas Fuel right now or their fans, you've got to feel pretty good coming onto Lijiang Tower, because although, like we discussed earlier, it is a map you can bring out the Pharah a little bit more on, it's also another control map, and Dallas looks so dominant on Oasis that you have to come into this one if you're with a bit of confidence, if you are the Blue Flame.
The Blue Flame, or the Burn Blue.
The Blue Flame, that's right. That's their hashtag. I'm saying what their logo is.
Oh, it is definitely just some blue fire.
Yep, pretty much. Well, we can tell from our screen, guys, that we're going to start things off on Gardens. And talking about Pharah maps, this is the prime one on Lijiang Tower, so we'll see if anyone decides to bring it out.
And it's also interesting that this is another Widow map too, with some of the long sight lines across the front side of the point. It looks like we may actually have Seagull on the Pharah here.
Okay, well, I mean, if anyone's going to be playing the Pharah on Dallas Fuel, it's certainly going to be Seagull. He's had...
Well, Taimu spent most of the night playing it, so it's been a bit of a surprise because Seagull came in with a lot of Pharah practice into the preseason. And he was primarily the Pharah player in some of their games late last year, but now it has been Taimu on it for the most part tonight. But this time, Soldier for Taimu, and Shanghai Dragons will be attempting the Soldier and Tracer combination.
That's right. We are ready to get things started here. See what Seagull can do on this Pharah.
Trying to zone them off the bridge,
Oh,
and that'll
that's
be
good
a
start.
first quick kill onto the support.
Yeah.
And they're not going to be able to really res that in time. Altering, trying to come back up over the lip of the map, but he's got to be careful.
Whoa, Harry Hook.
Takes a ride.
That's a double move onto Undead. Seagull got him started, and Harry Hook denied him from getting back onto the bridge here. Altering taken out by Mickey, and that's going to be Dallas taking the point early and getting their control percent building.
They're going to feel great about that. Late kill onto Altering.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic for them. Now, the Shanghai Dragons did get some more ult charge onto their Mercy as a result of taking a lot of upfront damage from the Pharah and the Soldier 76. But see if they can take advantage of that in the long run. Undead moves to McCree.
Diving in now, you can see Undead pushing forward rather. Mickey did get D-Mech, but that's another boot from Harry Hook. Undead knocked off on that McCree. Oh, Taimu taken down. Goodbye. A comical ragdoll will send Dallas Taimu packing, but the rest of his team right there, free feel with another death at the hands of Seagull.
And Altering actually made a pretty big mistake there, Doa. You see how he just died? He was standing there by the pagoda, resurrecting his tank.
It's brave.
Roshan.
It's a brave
So there wasn't anywhere for him to go after that because there were all the members of Dallas Fuel alive. So in essence, he actually just created a worse stagger for his team.
Oh. Barrage time, Seagull drops it. Oh, but Undead drops him. Everybody got out in time. Chip's there with the res. Surprisingly enough, he used the Valkyrie, and now they got to get back on the point to defend it. Mickey trying to chase away Undead. Rockets firing, Roshan takes out Coco. Mickey has a little bit of a delay at least with that self-destruct if he wants to use it. Gonna go ahead and do that just now. Can't stay alive though, no remeching for him. Coco though, whoa, get the kill onto Undead. Mickey did find Roshan too.
Wow, this was a fight Shanghai Dragons had in the bag. Roshan knocked Taimu off the map so he could not be resurrected. But at the end of the fight, Seagull and the rest of the Dallas Fuel use all of their ultimates, commit the sound barrier.
Guys, that's 90% for Dallas Fuel already. They've nearly got this round in the bag. Dia down again. Mickey with a crucial last-second kill. And now Taimu pops that tag visor. Shanghai comes in. They've got ults to use, but they've got no Roshan. They need to get altering there, but he can't res. Undead finds a kill to Taimu, who got very brave at the end, but nobody got onto the point. It looks like Dallas will take it 100-0 on Gardens.
They are looking supremely dominant on these control maps so far, as puzzling as some of Dallas Fuel's play has been on other map types. They have not given an inch really on control.
No, that was a very, very dominant round. I mean, you go back and look at Oasis too. It was a not so subtle stomping from Dallas Fuel, and it looks like we've got more of that on Lijiang Tower so far.
We are going to go to Control Center next, so we may see a return here. Seagull, a known Zarya player, will have another chance to play this hero. MG will take the reins of the Zarya on the opposite side.
That's right, Zarya v Zarya. What is this?
Chipzion with the Moira.
Moira, always big on Control Center too.
Quad Tank is the name of the game for the Fuel.
Wow, that's a ton of energy for Seagull already. Near 80% there. Gonna do a ton of damage as he comes in. Dallas Fuel backing off just a little bit. They've broken through the Reinhardt shield for the most part here. Roshan needing to take a break to recharge that. Chips trying to keep everybody up with that AoE healing coming out of the Moira, and Dallas trying to cap this point first. Shanghai back on there again. We'll see if they can do it. Oh, they've lost Coco, but also Roshan falls. Both Reinhardts out of commission here. No reses from Dallas. And Altering not able to get to his tank. Dallas nearly has a point, but the fight's not done yet. Now Coalescence comes in for Chipzion. That Moira comes up fast, but oh, Dia Undead there with the ultimates. And that Graviton Surge did not do much, but Shanghai will be able to take the point anyway.
Unnecessary, but Shanghai is the right idea. I like the fact that they're running Zarya just with the second tank, and then also running the McCree and the Junkrat. Reason why is that, sure, Dallas Fuel is going to get Coalescence up very quickly on the Moira, but at the same time, Shanghai can spam grenades in, get the Riptire. You use the Riptire once Chips uses the Coalescence, and he can't actually disappear and escape the Riptire.
Yeah.
So really nice
Coco.
play there from the Dragons.
Coco died. So Dallas having to back off again. I mean, they have been kind of pinned back into spawn for now.
I mean, they can't keep running Quad Tank. This is not a sustainable option for the Dallas Fuel against the side where you can charge that Riptire so very quickly.
Yeah. That's right. Ooh, charge comes in. They dodge him. Roshan pulled away. They're like, no, come this way, please. They brought the Reinhardt into the kill zone. Dallas Fuel now onto the point with
Grab
the
is
6v5.
ready.
That's right. They do have it. Seagull takes some time to kill a trap, and he's going to just lob that Graviton Surge in there. He doesn't care, man. And where's the capitalization on that one? Chipzion goes ahead and gets the kill onto Undead. And there goes Altering Seagull with a crucial kill on the Mercy. Graviton Surge used by Shanghai, but the sound barrier is there from Harry Hook to keep everybody up, and it looks like Dallas will be able to flip this point.
And they overcommitted to that. Shanghai Dragons should have been able to let that go and come back with the Riptire and their own Graviton. Instead, the commitment is absolutely massive, and they lose the fight anyway. You have to fight through a choke now against an Earth Shatter and against Mickey with the self-destruct. This is going to be a challenge. Dia is switching to Mei.
Wow, that is interesting. Coco, meanwhile, gets the pin onto Roshan. Roshan charges away. He's, I thought Ryan never ran from combat. Well, he doesn't have to run, because Seagull killed him anyway. Dallas now has Shanghai pinned back in their own spawn.
No time though, only 30%. And the reason why Dia switched to Mei is because you can punish Quad Tank positioning with the wall. You can isolate somebody very easily, or you can prevent that from happening.
I guess, man, Ice Block in there, but that's a lot of kills from Dallas anyway. They are not going to let Shanghai get close.
Well, they got through onto the other side of the wall, luckily for them.
Yeah.
They used the Graviton to accomplish it, though. Altering's going to be coming back with a Valkyrie, so Shanghai can still fight this one out, and Dallas Fuel has to retreat. They lost their crowd control ultimate, which was allowing them to control the choke point.
Undead back on the Reaper again. Hey, if it worked on Dorado, why not bring it out against the tanks here on Control Center? Lijiang Tower, they got to get something done. Earth Shatter gets blocked. Return Earth Shatter doesn't do a lot either. Coalescence popped by Chips High just to try to do a bit of damage. Roshan falls. Transcendence was late, but the res is there for altering. Both support ultimates used, though, by Shanghai. Mickey pops that self-destruct, doesn't get a lot of kills, though. Meanwhile, his team falling around him, so it looks like Dallas may have to give this one up as Mickey and Coco slowly get ground down. Another Earth Shatter, but nothing to do with it. And that is that.
Oh,
Shanghai will take it back.
Graviton used late again.
Yeah.
You really want that for the next fight. Dallas Fuel tried to open that fight by using a Junkrat mine to pop the Reinhardt Roshan into the air to get a shatter off, but the rest of the Shanghai Dragons were too far back, so they didn't execute the proper combo, and Shanghai came in and punished them.
That's right, Dia's got the, oh, that's a great Blizzard play for Dia. Oh, it got eaten though. Didn't it? No, there's,
Okay,
yeah, Mickey. I think he did. Maybe.
It looked like it got eaten at the end there, Doa. Mickey flipped on.
I think he got it, yeah.
At the end and actually ate the Blizzard.
Yep, seems that way. Meanwhile, though, Shanghai still winning this one. They're 99% now. And as the Transcendence comes in, Dallas Fuel losing their members. They can't quite keep it up there. And that Graviton Surge does not get you much. And we are tied up on Lijiang Tower. Shanghai, one round away from winning their first, or getting their first win, I should say, in the Overwatch League.
I really like the way Shanghai is adjusting to some of these compositions.
Yeah.
Junkrat was working well to start things off. They make a decision to go back to the Reaper against the Quad Tank and the Mei. Because you don't have a lot of movement abilities with Quad Tank, it's easy to cut somebody off. It's easy to freeze them if they get too close to you. So they went for an ultra close range brawling composition. And
Yeah.
they push on through. So Shanghai, as we go into night market, all the eggs are in this basket now for both of these teams.
That's right. Shanghai Dragons, Dallas Fuel, the winner of this round wins the match. Shanghai Dragons trying to get their first Overwatch League win on some virtual home field advantage, I suppose you could say. They're moving into the point now. And it looks like Dallas. Oh, big poop from Mickey. Taimu gets the D-Mech onto MG, and Dallas comes out swinging.
And they're just going to keep playing a tank-heavy composition. Taimu, long known for his Roadhog, they just shoved them right off the edge of the map.
Dude, that push from Mickey at the beginning with the D.Va was just so clutch.
It was, absolutely. And Shanghai, they're not wasting any time to make these changes. Immediately onto the Pharah. There is nothing on the Dallas Fuel side that's going to be able to really affect this Pharah, but they have to be careful. So Shanghai, they can put some damage into the point here, but that will just serve to charge Chips' ult.
Sure enough. All right, no hooks coming through from that one, but Taimu on the outside of the fight.
Meanwhile, the Pharah.
That's right, they got to get back on there. Shanghai takes about 2/3 of it before Dia has to back away again. Does pull Dallas back onto the point one more time, though.
Yeah, it's a slow pincer maneuver from the Shanghai Dragons right now. Finally, they're getting some meaningful damage down.
Yeah, that's right. Roshan falls. Here comes Riptide from Seagull coming in from behind, looking for some picks. Ooh, who can he get? He gets Free Field. That is certainly enough as the Mercy is all the way on the other side of the point.
Absolutely, Doe. Exactly. You can actually go for the Zenyatta because he is a sitting duck against that Riptide. You do not have to be worried about a Mercy Resurrect because they are on opposite sides of the map.
Yep. Nice to take advantage of that once in a while. Dallas, 60% now. Got a couple ultimates to use. Harry Hook's going to have that Transcendence ready to go soon. Shanghai with some tools of their own as well. Dia. Ooh, very sneaky coming from way up there.
Roshan's gone, and so is Free Feel. So.
Oh! Tried to get the kill onto Chips, but couldn't do it. Taken out himself. Altering, just going to go ahead and reset there.
I like the way Dallas is positioning. They're trying to just stay away from the Pharah as much as possible, and they're just playing off the point all the way in the front of the map.
Yeah.
And slowly marching back if the Pharah goes to backcap it. There hasn't been anybody, so they have to switch to Tracer now to try and put pressure on the point itself. They realized that Shanghai realized that this wasn't working.
That's the plan. Well, we're up to 96%. Looks like we may go to 99 before it's all said and done. There it is, overtime, Undead taken out. There goes Altering Taimu with a clutch kill onto the Shanghai Dragons Mercy. Oh, and the barrage from Dia. Is it enough to turn it around? Without the Mercy, it seems impossible. And there goes Roshan. Oh, and a kill onto Free Feel, and are you kidding me?
There's no
Once
support.
again, Shanghai Dragons looks like they're going to be denied a win in the Overwatch League. The res comes in on the Roshan, but they're going to need more. Shanghai desperately trying to get back to the point here. There's a primal rage from OT6. He's back on there. MG brought back up again. Whole hog from Taimu trying to displace everyone on Shanghai. They've nearly got Dia, who's over on the Doomfist now, and that may be it. After Free Fuel falls, once more, Shanghai will fail to get a win in the Overwatch League. Dallas comes out on top.
It's been so close over this series, back and forth between these teams, and Dallas pulls it out in the very end.
Well, the Fuel certainly showing their strength on control maps today, and a well-needed win for these guys, and a win without effect too, which is significant.
Absolutely it is, and Dallas really needed to start crawling back into these rankings. Yes, we're only about a quarter of the way through the Overwatch League season, but falling that far can hurt your ability to make it into the playoffs in the long run. Shanghai, so very close.
No kidding. That is tragic, man. I mean, right down to the very last round. They've got another match yet in Overwatch League Stage 1, but you think, you know, that was going to be one of their best chances. And it's tough because you go so close with Philly, so close now with Dallas, not quite making it each time, but you know, I felt like this was still one of their better matches, if not their best match.
You do see the improvement, that's for sure.
Yeah, so let's take it over to the desk to break down that pretty epic 5-map series.
Thank you so much, fellas. This one goes Game 5, the distance, a round 3 in control, and at the end of it all, Dallas walks away with the W. We want to welcome back in our desk. We got Crumbs and Reinforce, and we got to start back with Game 3. At the half, it was 1-1. We're coming into control, and Johnny, you said control is a game mode that both of these teams have been looking pretty solid on in the last week or so.
Yes, but it didn't look like themselves actually at all. Undead had huge issues actually getting past the Orisa shield coming out of Coco. So Dallas Fuel, once again, they look at home when they play this kind of pick composition. And I mean, it doesn't help either that Taimu just goes off on this McCree throughout.
Well, for this map in particular, I think a big issue with the Dragons was their compositions. They just never try to go a Junkrat, try to go far, just anything to deal with the shield. You had your Tracer as your answer, and then they switched to the Soldier. Just to highlight how one-sided that was, it was 99-0, and kills were 17-3. In the favor of the Dallas Fuel.
Say that one more time.
17-3. They basically didn't have to use ult in most of these fights because it was so easy. They had no way of contesting high ground, and so the control map for Shanghai was just so much worse than Dallas.
I mean, we saw the Doomfist coming out, of course, from Undead, and I'm not really a big fan of this Doomfist coming out because you have Taimu on the Widowmaker and you have Seagull on the Soldier. So they're able to poke down this Doomfist from so far away, and the Doomfist, because of his huge hitbox, he will never really be able to shut down those damage dealers coming out of Envious, and damage dealers, at the end of the day, are the most important characters in Overwatch.
Don't you think, though, that they needed some kind of switch? Because on the first point, they got stomped out.
Yes, they needed to change something up, sure, but we saw them run a pretty successful triple tank on Dorado, perhaps, and that way you can perhaps run over the Junkrat, and because you have so much HP, of course. So Doomfist maybe isn't the pick, and there's a reason that we don't see a lot of Doomfist in Overwatch.
At that point, we thought that it might be Dallas walking away with the 3-1 victory in this series, but Shanghai didn't go down. Instead, in Dorado, they set a better time, once again, just like Eichenwald, a better time on their initial attack. As we take a look at some of the highlights here, though, let's talk about some of the key players for each side. Taimu, he switched over to the Widow in this role. On the Shanghai Dragon side, Undead, we saw all kinds of heroes, including the Roadhog.
We did. We really saw a wide variety of heroes coming out of Shanghai, but what was most intriguing is that most of them were actually quite successful. The Junkrat was paying off, at times the Reaper, and we have a little cool clips to highlight how Reaper was very effective, but they just never stuck to it. It worked one time, and they decided, all right, well, it was only for this specific instant, we're not going to try it again. And that it's so questionable to see that when it works so well, why not just stick to it and see what the Dallas Fuel has to say about it.
Johnny, for Dallas, what was going wrong here? Because a lot of people in this venue thought, okay, Dallas should be able to just lock this up.
Yes, they should have been able to, but I think they're lacking the damage coming out of the Tracer, FX Trace that is, of course. Because when Shanghai Dragons play these huge targets, the triple tank composition, which we just used to steamroll over Dallas Fuel, you need that kind of insane damage per second to actually deal with these tanks. We saw Seagull swap to the Genji, but his Shurikens or his Dragon Blade is not going to be enough damage to actually deal with these tanks, especially Roadhog in this current meta.
At the end of it all, it was Shanghai who pushed the payload further, and we have the final attack. This is your insights powered by Intel. Crumbs, take it away.
Yeah, so this already is after the Shanghai Dragons defended the 1-minute push from the Dallas Fuel. So you can see that the payload is just barely right here, not very far. Bam, right there. But you have the Shanghai Dragons that just swapped to the Reaper. They don't know that the Reaper has been swapped. Dallas doesn't expect it because they don't have a line of sight, right? They can't see anything besides this area. So what the Shanghai Dragons are going to do, they're just going to pop right behind the payload, drop the Orisa ultimate that is right here, and the damage that Reaper is going to have is going to be enough to just mow down through everybody. And I think that's what was really lacking in a lot of these games and what would have forced the switch to the Doomfist into the Oasis map. That it's basically a hero that will just kill anybody and you don't need a lot of focus fire. Same with the Reaper. You got somebody with a damage boost, with a trance, with everybody, and that was your insights powered by Intel. Why we got a game 5.
I love it. Would the Reaper work without the damage boost coming in from the Orisa?
Yes, it could have worked, of course, but I think Monte Cristo hit in this in the cast, and it was crucial that they actually killed Mickey at the start of the fight, because Mickey was 10% away from his Holog, of course, and then you can just simply push away the Reaper and not allow him to go forward through the Orisa shield. So it was a crucial pick coming out of Shanghai Dragons, of course, in the end.
All right, so now week 5 is starting off pretty exciting. We're going to a game 5 here in our first match of the day, and it's on Lijiang Tower as always. Just like Oasis, though, it felt like Dallas got the point first. They never let control. Shanghai just did not have an answer once Dallas got set up.
Yes, and it seemed like Harry Hook really felt at home, especially on this Lucio here on Gardens, because when you have that speed boost, you're going to be on the point first, and Coco can't set up with the Winston and not allow Shanghai Dragons any space whatsoever. So it really felt like Dallas Fuel were a bit of them former self. We of course saw Coco on the Reinhardt just charging and swinging his hammer like we love to see. So overall, I think that this map, going into it, we know that Shanghai Dragons are really good, but Dallas Fuel, they really felt at home on this map.
Man, I felt like the Shanghai Dragons just took a little too long to adapt, especially in that Gardens map. You should have been able to just at least pick the Widowmaker and deal with the Pharah. We've seen that matchup be played out a lot of times before, and it just showcases the stunted arsenal that the Shanghai Dragons are dealing with right now.
All right, Dallas is able to walk away with a very tight matchup. Shanghai still improving, but not enough to get their first win of the regular season. Before we go here in match number 1, we have to crown our player of the match, sponsored by Omen by HP. And it's none other than the great Gall, Seagull, playing 7 different heroes, going off in this game for us. And for me, my favorite personally was the Genji. What about you guys?
I actually really like the Pharah. What we're seeing right here on our stage, or on our screen rather, it was game-changing in a lot of these fights, but what was most impressive was the conditions that he had to come in. There's no effect. Sometimes we see Seagull and effect, but it's Seagull and Taimu, a very strange combination we don't often see right now in this iteration of the Dallas Fuel, and he stepped up. He actually did a lot of damage for his team. I think a lot of maps he was teetering around 30 to 28%, and 33 final blows and 13
that's just his Genji. His total final blows for the match, 79 final blows, 28% of his team's final blows. Great job with effect out of the lineup. Seagull gets the job done for Dallas. Real quick, Johnny, if you're Dallas Fuel, you got one more match here in stage 1. If you're looking for another big win, do you put Seagull in the lineup?
I actually think that now when Dallas Fuel are out of playoff contention for stage 1, I think they can mess around with the substitutions, get some experience on stage. We've seen Kusta in the past, so maybe put Kusta back on the stage with Seagull and build some synergy and experience onto the stage, because at the end of the day, this is what Dallas Fuel has been missing throughout stage 1, I think.
All right, also keep in mind, Harry Hook gets his Lucio next week. This is the final week of the pre-Mercy nerf patch. Junkrat also getting a bit of a nerf as we go into stage 2. That's going to do it for our first match of the day. We got plenty more, starting with this Shock versus the Gladiators on the other side of this break.